What is up? And welcome to How We Roll. It is Monday. And to answer City's question real quick. We just took a short pause for a little bit of a more kind of lighthearted 2 or 3 sessions just to take Daggerheart open beta for playtest. So the Strahd campaign is not over. Should be able to play catch up on YouTube before we kick in the next episode. It ended with the basically dinner with Strahd. They all met Strahd for the first time, so well worth watching before we kick that back off. I'm your Game Master Gorbat. Joining us this evening as we play Daggerheart, the open beta playtest, is our intrepid group of unlikely heroes. And we're going to let them introduce themselves and who and what they are, starting off with the Snuggler.
What's up, everyone? It is I, the Snuggler, and tonight I'm playing for you for the third time, I believe, Gerbert Sherberberry, the human wizard tinker. He is a lover and seeker of all things knowledge, and also a lover and seeker of all things friendship, as he has never really had any other than his metallic bodyguard, who will be introducing themselves later. But he's just a sweet, sweet boy, you know? Don't know if he's cut out for this world, but he's gonna give it his best shot. Okay, you don't have to yawn during my intro, Gore.
I was doing the
necessary.
Special boy.
Oh, okay. I thought you were like, snooze fest. Honestly, though, what a perfect way to encapsulate Gerbert Sherberberry, to be honest. So
there you go.
Kind of works out.
Can I get Satchmo to move just a little over that way? You're kind of off the.
You're very askew. So.
There you go. Bam.
Askew.
Perfect. Yep. Speaking of, it is the one and only Satchmo. Was muted.
Okay, Satch.
I am
really
so muted. Hello, I'm muted. Sorry, I was looking for my little cards. Okay, I'm out here scrambling around. Oh, they're everywhere. Anyway, hi, I'm Satchmo. I will be playing Hurang. He is a monkey man. He is a fighter. I tried to make a rogue. The rogues were all magic users. I didn't want a magic using rogue, so I made him a fighter, and that's what we're doing with him. He likes to tell jokes and talk a lot.
Awesome sausage. Also joining us, it is Jane Ivana.
Hello. I'm playing a turtle, or they're called Galapago, named Oshara, and he is an old, I say this every time because I love the word, bumbling, old retired turtle, just trying to decided he wanted to be a druid finally after a long career in fishing. And is just kind of hobbling around, making friends as best he can.
Alrighty. Also joining us.
I got a sausage, by the way, and I thought I'd finish it by the time we started.
Well, you can go ahead and finish your sausage, Jane.
Finish that.
Enjoy your sausage.
Glad you finally confessed that, Jane.
Yes, confessed it.
Sausage.
The truth is
Butter
out.
sausage. All right. Also joining us is Crispy.
Hi, I'm Crispy. I am playing for you Z1000, or Z for short, a Clank guardian, who is the guardian of the sweet little baby boy, Gerbert Sherberberry.
Gerbert.
None of you said it right. None of you
Gerbert.
said it right.
I heard it wrong too many times.
Gerbert.
Gerbert. Like Sherbert. But
Gerbert.
then I think of a different, okay. Gerbert.
I've heard it wrong too many times to where I can't
know.
remember the right version anymore.
I can't remember which is right.
It shouldn't be
both
that
sound
hard.
good.
It really shouldn't.
But you know what Jeremy says every single day since the first episode?
What?
Apple cinnamon pie.
Is that how Christy said it? Or how I said it?
So, yeah, Gerbert said it.
Apple
cinnamon pie.
City Mod Pie, because you've never heard of it.
Pie.
Which is such a wild thing to not ever heard of before.
And last of all, it is the Shaggot.
Matt, how do you pronounce your name?
Oh my goodness. Are you serious?
Gerbert.
Okay.
No. Tell me.
Gerbert Sherberberry.
It's Gerbert.
No, it's not.
Google it. It says Gerbert. I'm listening to the
How
pronunciation.
are you telling me how
It's
to pronounce?
Gerbert.
my character's
Hey,
name.
your character's a sheltered little boy. He doesn't know how to pronounce his name properly. It's all
All
I'm saying.
he's heard are his parents say his
Listen,
name over and
It's
over
French.
again.
Why do you think he has that outrageous accent?
Well, then should it be Javert? You know, the T is silent.
Jabba.
No, it
French.
should be.
Javert.
Could it be that you're wrong?
Me? Never.
About your own character?
Nope, you can't be. If you say it's
Listen.
Gerbert, it's Gerbert.
I play Rickroll,
What even
who's
is your
a
name again?
fungal bard.
How do you
and
say your
bards
name?
know what they're talking about. Rickroll.
Arik Arol.
Rickroll. But no one said that properly, but I don't correct him.
Who doesn't say Rickroll properly?
Or Wick. You have to say it Wick well. It's like Jonathan
Rick
Wath. How Jonathan
roll.
Wath.
You gotta
Is that how you
roll
want
the
us to
R's.
say it?
Yes, from now on.
Well, then your
Okay,
character
then
better
we
state
will.
so, because that's not how you introduce yourself.
All right, Gerber.
I love it here.
Stop saying
I
it
love
wrong. I'm going
this.
to get so confused.
People.
This
I
is my
love
favorite
us.
thing.
You're so funny.
Angst
Wow.
over names.
I think I'm funny.
But anyway. So, yep, open beta playtest of Daggerheart launched at 1.2. It is currently at 1.3 with a few minor changes. Thus far, our heroes started out at a little village near the edge of the Sablewood Forest, which is where they currently are. They were hired by a wealthy nobleman who is currently trying to save his very sick daughter. Local apothecary said that there is a way that she can be saved, but in order to do so, they need to get some of the freshest water from the Moonglow River, aka the Lucent River. But it has to come from the very source. Must come from this bubbling brook, these streams, these underground springs. And they were given 3 silver vials to secure this liquid in and sent on their merry way. So they started out. Some ruffians overheard their fact that they got paid in advance and were given some silver flasks. So they waylaid them on the path on the way there. They dispatched and dealt with those, had a little bit of a break. Then they made their way through the side path to I just realized I need to open up a thing. There we go. Moonglow Spring. There we are. Yeah, they basically followed a side path to get them to. There was like a little river run outpost, and on their way there, they met a interesting little goblin fellow who had been thrown off of his goat. And he managed to convince them to help him wrangle his goat back, Wiggs the Goblin. But then in doing so, he mentioned, yeah, I kind of just come from that way, and I was going to that same outpost, but when I got there, it all seemed rather fishy. I've been there many times before, and it's usually bustling with activity, and there are fishermen fishing on the dock, and boats coming and going, but there was none of that, and my gut told me today wasn't a good day to visit, so I left. Well, our heroes went there anyway, as heroes do, because they're not a scared, and found that things were indeed very quiet. There were 3 buildings that were there, but on closer inspection, the buildings had been taken over by a band of ruffians who had slaughtered the people that lived there, and a big battle ensued, but once again, our heroes were triumphant. They were originally supposed to find out how to acquire a boat. Well, there was a boat there, which was pulled up on the bank. So they have, kind of like requisitioned the boat, but not before Harang accidentally broke some of the boat. Maybe a problem, maybe not. We'll see. Nobody saw him do it, so didn't happen. And that's kind of where we're joining them this evening, as they're going to be getting the boat in the water and traveling up the Moonglow River. And there we go. So if you haven't seen Daggerheart before, this is your opportunity to kind of get to grips with a different and interesting little system. Now, that being said, though, is it time? Should I do the thing?
Do the thing.
Should I do the thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, do the thing.
So it's time to play Daggerheart.
Rolling up tonight for yet another fight. We play along, we're not alone, we're gonna make it through alright. Combat me, baby, yeah, we're gonna test your might. We've got magic, strength, and smarts. We're not afraid to play our part. So talk right in, we're about to start. It's time for Daggerheart!
All right, there you go.
Wow.
love it
That
so
was
much.
thrown together in about 20 minutes total from the start.
No way.
So,
My request.
while we were all bullshitting and prepping and getting ready, Satch was over there just
Literally
muted and
bullshitting,
singing
and she was
away
like-
silently.
She was shooting the shit. That's what she does.
Doing? And then it was like, oh, play this.
Amazing.
So excellent, love it.
My favorite part was combat me, baby, we're gonna test your might. I thought that was
That-
good.
Yeah.
That was so good. Post the lyrics in chat later.
Okay.
There you
Read
go.
'em.
And I have them open still because I just got done typing them.
Oh, I love it. So, without further ado, let's join our heroes on the bank of the Lucent River. Yeah, I've got a thing that I can play. Where's my thing? Where's my thing? Here we are.
I misspelled Daggerheart. That's so funny.
Daggerheart.
Daggerheart.
Dagger.
It's French.
It's a soft
Dagger
G.
cinnamon pie.
Cinnamon.
It's actually Daggerheart.
Oh, it's Daggerheart. Yeah, she's silent.
Ah.
You bitch. How dare you?
Alrighty. So if you've not tuned in before, directly below me, you'll see the Daggerheart symbol. That is where you will see the duality dice being rolled. It uses a different system. Once again, just real quickly, duality dice is 2d12. The light, happy-looking one represents hope. The darker one represents fear. Anytime the hope dice is rolled, it's a good thing for our players. They gain potentially hope, which is a currency that they can spend, but when they roll with fear, I potentially gain fear, which is a currency I can use to MacGuffin them and to change the narrative in ways that are interesting or not necessarily not opportunistically ideal for the players. So there we go. So we're joining you guys. So Harang and Oshara are over here by the boat. We have Rickroll is standing on the little stone walkway, observing and watching. And then Z and Gerbert.
Thank you.
Gerbert.
Yes.
Shiverberry.
I think we would have moved over with the rest of the group.
Yeah,
here.
so they're just heading over there now. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Clank, 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 clank. There we go.
Thank you.
All right. So yeah, what do you guys want to do? As I said, the boat, they've just pushed the boat in the water. It's an older vessel, but it does
checks
at
out.
least seem to be floating at this point. And there are 2 oars.
I'm going to not get in yet, but I'll be like, who's up first? Go ahead and get in the boat. If we need some to be propelled, I can hold on to it from behind and swim.
Well, I was going to say maybe our good friend Hooray might check the vessel out to make sure it is seaworthy. They do have the most time on the open seas. So what do you say, Hooray? You want to give it a once over?
Yeah, that's this is well, frankly, it's not very good. It's not a good boat.
A what?
I mean, it'll float, but like, it's not probably not for all of us. That being said, we just need to take it up the stream a little bit of the way. We don't really need it the whole thing. So I was thinking it might be easier to just throw the clank in the boat and bring him along that way, so he doesn't have to be slow in the woods and against a soft riverbank. It's gonna be all muddy, and we could probably get some rope from. I'm gonna be pointing at the cabin over there. There was a bunch of supplies in there, and also corpses, but mostly supplies. So we could probably rig this up. Maybe walk one on what's on the side here, one on the other, to pull the boat along. I just thought it'd be a good time saver, maybe.
What seems to be the issue with us getting in the boat? What's wrong with the boat?
Well,
If you look, and I'm going to point at the damage that I caused that none of them know I caused,
Yeah.
and use it as an opportunity to look really smart.
Yeah, so basically, when Harang was like grabbing hold of it and trying to pull it into the water, it didn't go well, and
Some of the
probably
wood
about
loosed.
a foot, like the topmost plank, about a foot of it, and maybe a smaller chunk of the next one down, kind of like busted out, because it's kind of old. So while it's high enough up that the boat will sit in the water, you start loading that boat up with a lot of people, and maybe the water might just start to seep in. So yeah.
That's not good at all, especially since, and I'm gonna look at Clank, Z, and myself, and the turtle, right? The Glocko. We probably have a lot of weight between us to distribute.
well, Ashara's probably faster in the water than the boat will be.
Well, it's nothing an old fisherman can't fix if y'all help me out and
Okay,
Could
you want to try to
I,
fix it?
attempt to fix it with my experience of being a fisherman.
I would say that would absolutely be viable. So, yeah, if you're trying to if you're basically trying to repair this, you're going to do a finesse roll. So you can add your finesse, but if you want to spend a hope, you can also use your experience as a fisherman to tie into it.
I will use a hope,
Alrighty.
and yeah, my finesse is +1.
You did invite help, but
I did invite help. I don't know. if
and
anyone...
I have experience with boats as well, so
Yeah.
I don't imagine Harang's just sitting there looking at the
Okay,
boat
so
while
how
this is
that will
happening.
work, which is actually interesting because that altered in when they went from 1.2 to 1.3. So you can spend a hope to help, and you will roll your d12 as well. So basically, Ashara will do her roll, and then you will roll your hope dice, and Ashara can pick which one she prefers to use.
Oh, interesting.
So,
All right, so I will just roll straight duality dice.
yeah, duality dice plus your presence plus your bonuses for your experience of knowing how
finesse?
fishing works.
Yeah, finesse, right? Not presence.
Oh, sorry, finesse. Finesse, correct.
Okay.
I'm gonna brag at the boat.
And what is the bonus for experience again?
Either a +1 or +2, depends on... You had 2 experiences, one of them you give a +1 to, and one of them you gave a +2 to.
Oh, I forgot to do that.
Then
I'll do that now.
give one of them a +1, the other one gets +2.
I also didn't do that correctly.
All
I'll
right.
do that now.
So,
I'm rolling.
alrighty.
Yikes. All right.
Alright,
Hooray!
so you technically will succeed with fear, but by taking, by being helped by Harang, you can take that 9 instead of that 2.
Yes, please.
So you succeed with hope. So you actually gain a hope.
Yay.
Oh,
Alrighty, so yeah, you can kind of you
Just
find
catch
the
it as a
broken-
pin's coming out and push it back in.
You kind of find
Yeah.
you find the discarded piece of wood, kind of like up there behind you, just conveniently on the bank. Very
Nice.
lucky, and
go.
you're able to get that, and then by taking some of the supplies in one of the fishing huts, you're able to kind of reinforce that. Put a few smaller bits of wood either side of it to kind of hold it in place. I'm sure that you can get some materials and stuff and kind of do a fairly decent. You rolled pretty well, so you did a good repair job. It'll probably hold for the most part.
Unless we run into a big old fish that eats old ladies.
Been there, done that.
Yeah,
Not a
I
fan.
know.
Okay, so yeah, so you now have a more buoyant little boat.
Hey. Hop in, everyone.
Well, you guys will have to get in first and then push it over to the other side of the river so that unless you're expecting them to navigate over that rope.
Well, fine. We'll push the boat out.
Okay. Alrighty, so you're going to kind of push the boat out into the river to where... And then, are you getting on the boat as well, Ashara, or are you going to kind of push the boat from behind?
I'm gonna push from behind for now.
All
See
right.
how much space there is in there.
And then, where does... Orang's kind of moved over to one side, so...
Yeah, I'm kind of hang out with the steering.
Okay, so
little
Gerbert can
rudder
kind
on
of maybe fit in next to Harang, and then
Okay.
Clank can take up the center of the boat. So you
Just
won't be
hear it
going through the water like this or like this.
That would be wise.
All right, yep, once the huge metal Clank climbs down in the center, you all feel the boat kind of like sink down a little. Eyes kind of like carefully looking at the repair job, but while there are occasional little trickles coming in, it's not enough that every great once in a while someone can pull out a cup from their thing and do a little bit of bailing out. You'll be fine. Okay, so you have the boat up and running. Congrats. Well then, as I said, the rowboat has 2 oars laying within. So if you want to use the oars, you can, or you can just use TURTLE power.
I will use the oar to help and also steer, right? Like guide, I guess. People do in the front,
Okay.
I assume. Or they can do it in the back too, I imagine. But
Well, I mean, if Ashara is like just basically holding on the back and kicking her legs and zooming forward, I mean, she can kind of like steer. You'll just have to give her some indication.
Typically, the power drive is in the front and middle, and the steering happens more in the back by dragging. But we have a rudder here and a turtle, so you can just power along. We'll be all right.
I will do that. And that's what I do.
Alrighty.
Do want to point out that we have not completed the second task in the letter, which said to secure directions to Idelware Distributary. Does anybody know where this is? Did you see anybody around to ask? Or was it just all those guys we...
Well, everybody else
Killed.
was dead, and you killed all of them. So there's nobody left alive to ask.
Did you see any pamphlets? Forced
Any brochures?
I didn't see any brochures.
Come and
Or
visit the
maps.
delightful Moonglow Springs.
But I did get this.
And I'm gonna hold up my little fishing rod.
Oh, I could be trolling.
Fantastic! Try to catch some fish on the way. I suppose we'll just go and hope the old river takes us where we need to go.
All right. Okay. Well, in that case, you embark down the river, or actually up the river in this case. And Let's see. I think we can have some pleasant noise. Do-do-do-do-do. Okay. I'm going to bring the volume of the river down just a tad. You begin to row and basically paddle your way up river of the Lucent. As the evening draws in and you make your way further, you begin to notice why the locals refer to the waters as the Moonglow River. As the moon rises, the waters begin to emit a much more vibrant blue glow. Even though the moon is barely visible above the arcing canopy of the trees, remarkably, it is giving off enough light for you to be able to see and navigate your way through the waters. Before long, you notice a split in the river. The main river continues further north, but there is a small estuary that heads northwest. Decisions. Which way do you want to go?
This would have been good to have the directions for.
Right.
Didn't they say something about going upriver? I mean, isn't one of these ways upriver?
Technically, they both are.
Well, it's the way tributaries work, is they kind of they funnel in together, you know? So I would assume more water is coming from whichever one's bigger, so that's probably the better route.
Seems like a good, smart suggestion.
And if the river stops glowing, we know to come back and go the other way.
Well, the water does kind of, I mean, it glows in both directions. But as you're kind of going down that line of thought, Harang, give me an instinct check, if you will. DC 12.
Check my character sheet for my instinct. Oh, a glowing 1. Add all to roll, add 1. Here we go. How do we do, boss? Oh, God.
Well, 13 plus 1 is a 14, so the good news is you do succeed.
With the most fear possible.
The bad news is,
Oh, well.
I pick up a fear, so I had 1 that makes it 2. Okay, well, what you actually notice is that the water seems to be traveling a little faster from the little estuary, which would lead you to believe that you're probably closer to wherever the source of that is. Whereas the main river is moving much more slowly. So
Faster moving means a bigger incline, and it was said to be in the mountains, so probably that way.
alrighty. Well, in that case, you want to steer the boat in that direction?
Yes. Despite everything I had just said about going the bigger
that's because you
ones
didn't you didn't look at the waters and see that until then. So
yeah, I just think it's funny for Harang, who's when Harang's caught in thought, he doesn't really say what he's doing. He's just steering the boat now.
yeah. So everybody else notices, despite Harang saying we should go up the main part of the river, he is doing everything he can to position the boat in the opposite direction and go up the up this estuary.
Are you sure?
Yeah, sorry. Let's try this way, actually. Water's going faster. Also, Oshara, if you could tell the water's colder, it might be coming from a higher place. It's coming from mountain caves, right? The glowing or something. I seem to remember.
Okay, Ashara, if you would like to determine that, give me an instinct roll.
an instinct roll.
Yep. So you're going to use your instinct
2.
and add any pluses to it.
All right, I'll just do that and +2 to
Ooh.
this.
So if you're not sure and you aren't aware, but basically in Daggerheart, if you roll doubles, then it's always a crit.
Crit your pants!
So yeah, that's a crit. So not only do you gain a hope, but you also clear a stress if you have one. So yeah, you definitely notice a temperature change. The water is indeed cooler coming from the estuary. So there's obviously that water is, hasn't had the time to kind of come down to the same temperature as the main part of the Lucent River. So Orang is probably onto something. You would probably concur with his theory that this is the right direction.
Yeah, even though I'm in the water, I do that thing where I stick my finger in it. Indeed, cooler this way. I believe you are onto something there. Hooray.
At least it wasn't a warm spot.
Please.
All right.
He means pee.
Oh,
The ocean is many. The water is many
thank you,
things, including my bathroom. It's all right.
Don't fall out of the boat!
I'm gonna start shaking Gerbert.
Don't fall out of the
Okay,
boat!
okay, hey.
Threat level detected. Threat level detected.
Can you guys stop rocking the boat back there? What are you doing anyway?
Gerbert is white knuckling the side of the boat. Yeah, that's right. You were just wrathing between friends, right?
Yeah, friends, absolutely.
Okay,
Friends to the end.
friends wrath each other. Yeah, okay.
Alrighty. The river ahead soon begins to narrow, and at times you almost have to push the oars against the riverbanks as opposed to moving them through the smooth, glowing waters to proceed. A good hour or so later, the river takes a tight right turn towards the east, and what lay ahead is obscured from view by the thick trees that line the riverbank. So yeah, it just kind of like takes almost a very sharp turn, but you can't see what is beyond that turn. Anybody wish to do anything, or you're just going to keep on pushing up the river?
Riverbend.
I was about to sing it too.
Just keep going.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think Gerbert wouldn't have any inkling to question anything.
Alrighty. In that case, around the bend, the river banks widen, allowing the moonlight to shine down on the waters much more directly. They glow far more prominently here, and all along the riverbank seems to be pools of water, all at different levels, cascading, with the higher ones falling down into the lower ones below. Let me,
Pretty.
there you go.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Let's see.
What?
Lost my place. Yeah. Okay. With the higher ones flowing down into those beneath, and then into the river itself. Not far up ahead, the river appears to come to an abrupt halt, and yet more cascading pools allow water to stagger and flow down into the water of the Lucent River. Colorful and vibrant plants and flowers litter the banks, and a variety of mushrooms and toadstools can be seen growing in smaller clusters. The air smells sweet and pleasant here, and it reminds you of the fresh fruit and strong floral aromas that you smelt back in town. Just then, you feel a bump against the side of the boat, as if you may have just navigated into a large rock just below the surface of the water. I would say that with you being in the water, Ashara, give me an instinct check, please.
Gorge,
DC
sorry,
10.
are we on the right map? I'm not seeing any.
We aren't. The
Oh,
map
I
is
dragged it
absolutely
and
beautiful.
dropped it, but it didn't drop.
Okay, I just want to make sure we're
It's not
So
dropped.
it's that-
Oh, there
what
it
we
goes.
interact with. Okay.
Oh, it's pretty.
Oh my god.
There you go.
So pretty.
All right, there you go.
Zach said pretty, and I'm like, what
Oh,
is she
very
looking
good.
at?
Okay.
Yeah,
I was looking at the
too.
stream. I was looking at the stream.
Cheater.
So you succeed with fear.
Shame.
So
It just happened to be there.
Wow.
so that's a vibrant success, but with a little bit of a caveat. So in this case, I am not going to take a fear. I'm going to use an action.
Uh-oh.
And I'm going to just drag these down a tad. So that they can be seen. Alright, so first of all, you feel a definite flow of current under the water shower where you're swimming. A good enough roll to know that some kind of aquatic creature, particularly large aquatic creature, just swam beneath the boat and you.
Okay.
It is also, whatever it was pretty darn long. Like, very long.
Like,
Prepare
well,
for contact.
20 foot average? No.
Prepare for contact. We have a guest.
Prepare
So,
for
as...
contact.
I'm trying to clamber onto the boat.
yeah, I'll help you. I'll help you clamber.
Alright, so here's what we're going to do. As I said, I'm not taking the fear. Instead,
All bad
I'm
to
going to
me.
take an action. So what actually happens
Okay.
is this thing, as it swims underneath, with its action, it kind of swings around very, very suddenly with such force that it kind of pushes the boat and you guys in it right up to the boat, kind of goes and thuds hard against the bank. As that kind of happens, just for a brief second, below the blue glowing waters, you catch the kind of like the humped, ridged back of something very kind of like ruddy red color, covered in scales. And it's kind of heading back northwards, further up the river. Like it came down, did a inquisitive pass, and then headed back further away from you guys. What does anybody wish to do at this moment with that happening?
Any of us have an idea of what this could be?
Well, I don't think any of you have any particular knowledge about this region or anything.
I just have a.
Does anybody have an experience that might lend into this?
So I have a class feature.
Okay, which is?
I have. Where'd it go? There it is.
Is that
School of Knowledge. You've gained a priceless knowledge through great study. You have an advantage on all knowledge rolls to recall information. If the roll is about the magical nature of a creature or enchantment, I don't know, gain a hope, but that's just an extra. But
Yeah.
the School of Knowledge is you've gained priceless knowledge through great study. So I might be able to recall like, oh, this is a sea creature that kind of looked like this.
I would say specifically, yeah, because you spent so much time
Yeah, this is my
reading and
wheelhouse.
studying and learning. Even though you've never been here, you
No.
might know some stuff about this place. So yeah, give me a knowledge roll. And again, you, as you said, you gain advantage on that because of your special knowledgey nature.
Yes. What do I add knowledge to that? So +2. Okay.
Yeah, so you can add your knowledge to it.
All right. And that's just a straight.
I would
Plus.
say before you roll,
Yep.
let's see. DC is DC is 13.
Okay, and I do have advantage.
Yep.
Am
so
I able to roll with advantage in DD dice somewhere, or do I just roll twice?
It's the
Oh, I see it. I see it.
Yeah, the
All right,
one
here we
where
go.
you have the two white
Yep, yep.
12s.
Here we go. Rolling twice.
Nope, you only rolled the one with one white dice.
I
Roll
put
another
advantage.
white dice. Roll another white one.
Just one white?
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that. How do I
You
just
just
roll
got
one?
the
Another
white
white
dice.
die.
Oh, just the one. Got it. Roll.
Oh, okay.
Ouch.
Well, either way, even with
I rolled
advantage,
so bad. Oh my god.
so you rolled with
Yeah.
fear.
Of course I did.
So,
How could I not?
And you didn't succeed either. So
Yeah,
not
no
only
shit.
are you really have, so you have no idea what it was that just struck the boat. However,
Which makes sense, because Gerbert in this moment is horrified.
right. Well, and that kind of plays into where we're going, because
Okay.
however, you did read a few bizarre extracts talking about some kind of like deep river leviathans that were known to swallow boats whole.
Okay.
And you remember that very vividly because you had nightmares about it like for a while afterwards. And all of that's becoming very kind of a little too close to the surface for you right now.
Yeah.
You're kind of feeling a little bit scared, a little bit intimidated, a little bit worried, a little bit nervous, and for the time being, you're temporarily going to count as vulnerable, which means anything that goes against you will have advantage.
Okay.
It won't last for too long, but we'll see what happens.
Okay. Great.
So you're just kind of, oh,
Yeah.
shit, oh no. Okay. So yeah, you guys will all notice that he's kind of gone a little white and probably quivering a little.
Well, we have a saying, when you're not the biggest boat in the water, you should leave.
I agree with that. Although, and I'm going to be looking specifically on land because you said there's a bunch of fungal-esque stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can see here is all these
Toadstools.
vibrant colored toadstools and mushrooms and stuff like that. Yes.
I want to roll. I guess it would be knowledge with my experience as a botanist,
Okay.
because being fascinated with life and death cycles, I had a garden. Being a fungal, it would make sense that I would know. I want to make sure none of this stuff is like poisonous or deadly before we disembark.
This one right here is Uncle Timothy. No,
That's good to know.
as you're a fungal. Yeah, go ahead. If you can spend a hope to use your experience.
Oh shit! I just realized I was not in the DD dice.
I thought you were earlier.
I was, but I think I X'd out by accident. All right, so it's a knowledge roll.
It would be knowledge, yes, and you can add your knowledge
Only a
trait.
+1.
But if you're going to spend a hope, you can also add your experience.
All right.
Hey, at least you failed, and I didn't get you failed without anything bad happening.
What is happening?
So, anyways, so yeah, these are like, kind of like species of fauna, flora that you've never seen before. You don't recognize any of these. These are not your typical run-of-the-mill mushrooms or toadstools. They're very, very, I don't know, very strange, very, very different.
Not wanting to showcase that I have no idea what these things are, I'm going to say, let's disembark. This is a good idea. We got this, guys. And I'm just going to hop off, I guess.
Okay, you can jump off as soon as the boat is actually right now up against the side, so you choose to get off. Okay, what is Z gonna do?
I would like to see if I can use one of my experiences. If
Okay.
you'll
Yeah?
humor me. I have one that's called I Always See It Coming.
Okay,
And I would like to use that to, like, I guess, assess the threats
Perfect.
around me. Like,
Yeah.
do we have some carnivorous things going on? Like, what?
okay. Yeah, so, we're gonna use that with instinct.
Okay.
So you spend a hope, and you can apply your instinct plus your experience bonus to this.
What if I don't have a hope to spend?
Then you can't use the experience.
You fool.
You fool! Learn the game.
Well,
So
trying.
you can absolutely still roll, but you couldn't invoke your experience because you don't have the hope to spend yet.
okay. Well,
Unless you have a trait or
Yeah, we
ability
gotta
that allows you to
rest.
sacrifice there are some things that I don't think you do that allow you to like sacrifice a stress to do some things, but I don't think that's
for protecting myself, not so
Yeah,
much.
okay. So yeah, it doesn't apply for this. Okay, so you can still roll. You just won't add the experience.
Okay, sorry, I was just reading some other stuff to see if there was anything. Okay.
You got it. This roll has to be good.
Statistically.
Statistically, this roll has to be good.
Statistically, it's as likely as any other roll.
No.
Anything
It's going to be
different
good.
is a gambler's fallacy.
Good.
Okay.
And your boy's a gambler, baby.
So 19, you succeed. You succeed with hope, so you gain a hope. Now you have a hope.
Oh yay! I need one of those.
All right. So yeah, here's the thing. So you noticed while all this was going on, you were paying particular attention of this kind of thing as it whooshed around and the wake of the fins or whatever it was that kind of pushed your boat to the side.
Right.
You also noticed it kind of like zoomed at speed up the river, and it was gaining momentum as it did so. You are able to see right at the top here, almost like a huge kind of like whoosh and swish as some of the water kind of splashes up against the sides of the banks here. Once again, letting you know that whatever that was just did the same maneuver it did back here, but faster. And you can now see a very strong V in the water, kind of like plowing in your direction very, very rapidly and very, very quickly.
Okay.
So yeah, your assessment is eminently this thing looks like it's did its little inquisitive bump, figured out what it was, and now it's decided to come back and do something else with some kind of deliberate action.
Gotcha. Okay, well, knowing that, I'm going to say scanning, incoming, impact, imminent, and I'm going to pick up Gerbert.
Okay.
And I'm going to disembark off the ship.
All right. You're going to do that. So you're going to basically do that carrying Gerbert?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Now, the boat is not moored to the side or anything like that, so...
But I have my Go-Go Gadget legs.
You do. Which is great. But
I imagine if they're pushing off...
I imagine it a little bit more like Bender, where they're just like really long, like they can just do all kinds of crazy stuff.
And so you can reach the bank. The question is it kind of like this, or does the boat kind of start to push back against you?
Well, we have the oars in the boat. We can, pull
if that had been discussed, and you were ready for this maneuver.
Well, I didn't want to interrupt. For the Harang does that on his own. He doesn't need my help.
Okay, so yeah, I guess in that case then, Harang, you will see Z reach to her left, pick up Gerbert, and then move to step off the boat.
Yeah, so you'd want to dig in,
How do you?
Because
so what do you want to do to try to make this from your position there? What do you want to do to kind of help dig that boat in?
Well, Rick Roll left his oar probably on the boat, right?
Yeah,
yes.
I would assume both oars are still on the.
Yeah. So just grabbing an oar and putting your side against the boat, and then propping down and pulling so that the boat doesn't rock away.
Gotcha. Okay, so
it's
you're gonna
so easy to move a boat when you have actual connection with the land. It's insane.
Yeah, it is.
Like you can push a yacht from a dock. It's crazy.
That's right. Well, and that's what I'm saying. Is like, so okay. In that case, yep, Z, you will step over carrying Gerbert. Harang, you are basically bracing the boat for that to happen. And what is Ashara going to do in that moment?
I jump out and go to the shore.
Okay, so you kind of like just drop off the boat and zoom
I'm
over.
kind of like repeating this the entire time like an alarm, so it's very obvious that everyone needs to move.
Okay.
As Harang is still on the boat, about to disembark, I will reach over, grab the edge, and pull it towards the shore. Help from the shore, then the embankment, whatever.
Very nice.
To make sure it doesn't drift away.
Ah!
All right, so what actually happens
Oh my god.
is as the V gets closer
my
and closer
God.
and closer, out of the water comes not a fish, but something that can only be described as a ginormous, thick, leathery eel with short, little, stumpy, reptilian legs and a head that looks very much like an alligator. This is, in fact, an eeligator.
Alligator.
We heard about
Eeligator.
these.
So it's illegal.
Good one.
Eeligator, yeah.
I'm
Good
sorry.
one. Good one.
I'm so sorry.
I got it.
So upset.
That was so bad.
It just pokes its head up and it's like, it hurts. It hurts.
Okay. So yeah, this thing, it's come zooming down and it is making its way towards the boat. I don't have, or I'm not going to utilize any actions or do anything right now. So in narrative is going to start with you guys. So yeah, what's everybody want to do at this point?
Rings off the boat.
Okay, so Harang, you're going to leap off the boat, okay? You are now all huddled up on the bank.
I mean, I pull the boat as much as possible onto the bank, and then I basically fall back. Like,
Okay.
Out of panic, seeing it.
Yeah.
All right.
I
Yeah.
would pull.
Yeah, I think we're all gonna kind of scoot into the bank and probably
Yeah.
hide as much as we can with the boat in the way.
Okay.
I imagine that's what
There
we
are
do. That
bush.
seems
I mean,
reasonable.
there are like little trees and shrubs and this whatever this huge, big, overgrown purple flower is here, all of which are places you could kind of like try to hide. So anybody that wishes to successfully hide themselves can absolutely do so. That is a finesse roll, and this would be in a pose. So you will roll individually finesses. So who is going to actively try to hide?
Oh, Gerbert for sure, 100%.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
me
All
too.
of us, yeah.
everybody.
I
So
think
you
we
all
would.
just scatter to the nine winds and
Yeah,
dive behind
Gerbert.
bushes and plants and stuff.
Horrifying.
All right, so
Yeah.
let's go through and get these rolls. So Gerbert, if you roll first.
Yeah, of course. I have no extra
Hey,
finesse, so
roll
it's just going to
better.
be a straight roll. Well, again, as okay, I'm a
Oh.
succeed, but
Okay,
it's a
so
success.
that's a
success.
19.
Oh, I rolled a 7.
Good.
That
Ooh.
is
Now,
my
7
thing?
is your strange pattern number.
yes.
Oh, is that what they can-
So,
It means I choose a number between 1 and 12, which was 7.
yep.
When I roll that number on the duality dice, I gain 1 hope or clear 1 stress. I
Yep,
may
by
change
default.
this number after long rest, which I haven't done. I'm keeping
Yep.
it at 7.
So it is a 7.
Oh.
So you actually gain a hope, regardless.
I have
Even
no
though
stress,
you rolled
so-
with fear,
Correct.
you gain a hope.
I do indeed.
Stress free.
Stress-free is the way to be. No stress, no stress.
These on
I have
PCs.
advantage on hiding because I'm Slyborn. Hell yeah.
Okay, so you have a 19 with fear. Okay, I'll put an F there. Let's have Hurang do yours, but yeah, you do indeed have advantage. So you're going to roll the 2 white d12s plus the fear d12.
And it's a finesse thing.
It is
right?
finesse to hide, yes.
Well, I guess I'll take the 7.
All right. So that is 7, 5. So you will succeed. Or well, it's a 14 is your thing, Sasaj. Okay. Because this is success or failure is when it comes to an opposed roll is determined by the final roll that it will make, which is to determine if it sees you or not. Okay, let's
I'm
have
going
Oshara.
to just call it. I'm making a Slayer dice instead of a Hope for that.
Okay, yep. So
Okay.
that's come in handy.
I will now roll my hiding as I
Yep,
take
finesse.
to the bushes.
Okay,
Oh.
18.
18 though.
Almost a low fear.
Fear.
Successor's still fine.
Yeah. It's still going to come down to the number, so
Yeah.
but there may be,
Yeah.
whatever happens, we'll see. Z. Hide your massive metal self.
Yeah, I surprisingly don't have any finesse, so.
you do surprise me. Ooh.
Oh.
It's a 4.
It's success or a hope at least.
Yep.
You get another hope.
With Z.
Yeah, I need those.
You need those.
Get them up.
And last but not
very
least
hurt.
is Rickroll. Let's see
I
what
guess I
Rick
should-
gets.
Yay! No finesse either. Let's go, baby.
I didn't either, and I got it. Okay, still decent number.
Fear.
Oh my gosh.
With fear.
Man, look at
How
that
much
fear bank.
That
Oh my
Yikes.
god.
Bad.
I was like, well, I take 20 turns, and you're all dead.
And you're all set.
Whoops.
Game.
Whoopsie doodles, I guess. That's the game.
Okay.
We're learning,
So-
you know? We're learning the game.
Yeah, this is this technically is it counts as one action. So I'm not gonna pick up fear for everything. The majority of the rolls were with fear, so it's a fear. But you don't get a fear for every single hide roll. Now it will roll to determine if it sees anybody. And that is a straight 20 for me. So that looks good for most of you. 13, 14, 18, 19, 4! All right. Unbelievable. Okay, so
We're so good at hiding.
all right. So yeah, I'm just gonna kind of arguably scatter you in and amongst. You're probably over here with there, and you're probably here. And Rickroll is probably just pretending to be a fungus.
He's just standing still.
I like the idea that Clank is just standing right here, just standing
Okay,
still,
so-
and it's still not seen.
So again, here's
Well,
how
it's
the narrative
inorganic,
works.
so he
I'm
probably
just
doesn't
holding-
smell it.
One branch in front of me.
If it's like a Transforce Rex, if they don't move, they don't see it. If it's like a Predator, it's not hot, so you can't see the infrared. So I
Yeah.
think Clank has the bases covered with
Yeah.
he has all the bases covered.
Yeah.
standing dead
for?
still. Maybe
an
it
object.
doesn't think that Clank looks particularly
Yeah, that's a
tasty.
weird rock.
Inorganic item, yeah.
All right, so
It's like-
the good news is you guys do succeed. You
Chirp,
all
chirp.
successfully hit. But again, there is a fear mechanic at play here. So here's what happens. How that fear kind of plays in is this thing is going to clamber up like crunch, crunch, like using the boat. And this thing is incredibly big and incredibly heavy. And Ashara and Hurang kind of watch as their repair pretty much just got crushed on and added to.
Yikes.
And there would definitely need to be some repairs to the right-hand side of the boat if that thing's going to float back down the river. It's landed up there and it's kind of like sniffing the air, like it knows something is here, but it can't quite determine where. What do you guys want to do?
I want to cast a spell.
Oh, and technically there's one action on the tracker because that was a joint action. Okay.
So this will count as a spell. It's from my book of idiots. It's called telepathy. I've used it before. There's no roll associated with it. You may open a line of mental communication with one target you can see. This connection lasts until you use a spell to connect with another creature.
Okay.
And I want to connect with it.
With it?
With it.
Okay.
All right.
What is it? With it? What is it?
And you
We'll all
are
float down here.
you're a bard, right?
I am a bard, yes. I have a codex.
This drink is making me so
I
funny.
have a codex.
A
God.
codex.
Me walking into any Games Workshop shop at any point in my life,
Right.
holding up my thing from like 2000 and being like, I could play Dark Elves.
All right. So from the Book of Iliad. Yeah.
And then
And then
I want to use my foundational class feature, Heart of a Poet, where when speaking, when speaking to a person you're trying to impress, persuade, or offend, you can spend hope and add 1d4 to the action rolled against them. Now, is this technically? It's not a person, right? It's a creature, so would it not really apply?
It is not, but let's see where this goes.
Okay, so first, I'm not going to use that feature yet. I'm going to say, "Hello, aquatic friends," like in its mind, you know.
Okay.
Using my telepathy.
Using like your words.
Using my mental projection. It's
Okay.
It's telepathy, right? So it's not audible.
Yeah.
The meanings happen.
The meanings, yes. I'm conveying meaning.
Okay. So you kind of send that into this thing's brain. Is it a visible thing? Like, can anybody see this happen?
I would associate it, being a fungal, as just like a cloud of spores kind of wafting in the air.
Oh, okay. So like
to it. So spores are kind of invisible, right? But maybe like a discoloration
it's a very fine
in the sky
mist sort of thing. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
I immediately kind of like pauses, stops sniffing, and it like shakes its head, like doesn't quite understand what's going on initially.
I'm gonna send friends, not food.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Yes, Tara, a fart. Yeah, sure. This is
What?
Brain fart.
It's a brain fart. Yeah.
Brain fart.
I guess I'm just sussing out whether it has an intelligence that I can communicate with it or not.
Well, that's just it.
It doesn't really, does it?
I mean, it's sentient, but it doesn't have any form of language. It can't speak. It doesn't think in thoughts like we do. It just it's more just instinct and reaction, right? So
okay.
What it is feeling is obvious confusion. You can see that. It is definitely confused. You're not getting that it's really understanding the message, but you are aware that it is getting a message.
All right, so then I'm going to convey that everything over here smells like excrement and shit. It's not edible. It's not good. It's not tasty. It's not to its liking.
Okay.
You know, like I want to convey, we're not food. We're shit.
But what if?
How do you convey that? I don't know.
Well, as I
what
said,
if it's
that
a
would be more
scavenger?
like you've got to like.
Yeah, what if it
Eat
likes
shit
that?
and
What if it likes
Yeah, that would be
carrion?
more like you're trying to instill.
What if he's into that?
more than
what
just
if
a
it
thought,
say?
Oh yeah.
Because
Oh,
telepathy
tell me
allows you
more.
to open a line of communication, but it's not really going to let you kind of like
Fair enough.
influence its senses.
Okay.
Unless you've got any other way of making that happen, of course.
Not really, honestly. I mean, I have Heart of the Poet, but
If nothing else, you have managed to kind of stop it in its tracks for a little bit, and as I said, it definitely does seem very confused. So everybody else can kind of witness this thing stop and shake its head and kind of like look around as like it's looking for something that's not there.
okay.
While
so
it's while it's
No,
like
go ahead.
staring at us and we're kind of staring at it.
Uh-huh.
Do we notice anything about it that could be like, oh, that's a weak point on it, or something that stands out?
Specifically because you said you're looking for that.
There's a gap in its scales on the left side.
An old wound.
An old wound, yeah. Give me an instinct roll, DC 15.
A
So again, duality dice plus instinct. Ooh, very nice. With hope.
oh,
Wow.
So you gain a
cool.
hope. That's awesome. You use dice, so that's an action.
That's the best numerical roll you can have in this game.
Pretty much. Without
right.
getting a
Doubles
double.
would be better, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So here's the thing: not a weakness as such, but you do. What you can tell is it is not articulated enough to kind of really turn its upper part of the body quickly. Like, its tail is very vibrant, but the part between, like this area here, between, only moves kind of slowly. So it would be difficult for it to, like, get its upper body turned around to attack someone quickly that was behind it.
Okay.
I mean, it could, in theory, swish it with its tail, but it looks like it would actually have to, like, move its entire body to make a complete turn on land, for sure. In the water, it's probably more capable, but it's very kind of slow and clumsy out of the water.
Okay. Got it.
So, yeah, well, the only thing that I'm going to be doing then with my telepathy is continue to confuse it.
Okay.
I'm just going to bombard it with messages that make no sense because it doesn't have spoken language.
Alrighty.
Just distracting it.
Anybody else wish to act or do anything?
I know, keep it out of the water if you can. Perhaps bait it.
I'm gonna look around. Is there something I should do too? Because again, I've been horrified by this thing.
Yeah.
Would you like to be bait, son?
I would say this much,
son.
I'm no longer going to consider you vulnerable because now while this thing is still scary as fuck, it's not the Leviathan that you saw the pictures of. So it's not the boogeyman that you were worried about. So even though it's like, that's really bad, but it is not as bad as I thought it was.
Do you want me to I could like cast a spell on the other side of the river or something?
We must bring it out of the water and attack it from the sides. It can't move or turn around quickly.
Oh, so we want it to get us?
Well, if it comes towards us, I suppose. If it goes away, we don't need to deal with it at all.
Okay, so what should I do?
We should let the creature return to its watery home.
Why not just home? Were you gonna say grave and then you switch it to home last second?
I was going to depths, but then it didn't make sense. So I pivoted.
Okay.
I have taken a lot of damage. My
Circus,
language chip
I know, I'm sorry.
has been...
Yeah, I think we should let it return to its watery home too, guys. I'm kind of on Z's side here.
Things are looking bad for me if we engage in a battle.
Oops. Oops.
Oh, you're in the water now.
No.
Oh.
Yummy!
She just dives in.
Whee!
Is the flasks of water we need to fill are any of these places? We could just grab water and leave.
Well, it has to be from a vibrant. Actually, got to be from like a spring, right? The entrance, like where the spring water is coming up out of the ground, is what you're supposed to collect. Of course, would they know? I mean, other than the cure might not work. But yeah, you might have to like do some investigating of all these different pools to figure out if one of them actually has a spring attached to it.
I don't think this thing's gonna leave us alone.
Okay. Well, seeing as you guys are all just kind of like sitting there quietly and just mumbling amongst yourselves, and he's bombarding it with ideas and thoughts and stuff like that, it's now starting to get a little frustrated. And the more frustrated it gets, the more stomping around it's doing, and you're noticing that more and more bits of your boat are like busting apart. And if much of this carries on, there won't be a boat to repair.
All right, seeing that, I'm going to stop. Just go quiet.
Okay.
Because I don't want to lose the boat. Stupidly. So.
Rang is like, if anyone's looked at him, he's completely still. Like, rigor mortis has already set in. He's very close to the mouth.
Okay.
So are you doing the three monkeys? Like, are you like this, or, you know?
It's like a combination platter. It's like thumbs in, my nose is covered by the one, I got my eyes this way, and I'm just sucking out my pinky.
Okay.
A combination platter.
Sorry, what was that?
Funny. Well, as you're all sitting there, quietly trying not to gather the wrath of the alligator, as I said, it's sitting there like stomping a little bit, the boat's busting up. It kind of rears its head back and like opens up its maw, so you can kind of see this huge, big, ginormous reptilian mouth lined with teeth all the way around, and it lets out a loud hissing sound, like it's either alerting something or talking to something or just letting out a frustration. And then it just kind of like closes its mouth and clamps back down onto the land and slowly starts to slide its body back into the water. Anyone wish to do anything while it is doing that?
I would just try to let it go.
All right. In that case, it does indeed go down, plops into the water, and disappears beneath the glowing blue samite. However, where it is along this watery estuary at this point, it's now not really easy to know.
So looking at this whole thing, so it goes up and up with like these.
So yeah, if you kind of like look, this is like the bank, and then you can see that there's like a layer here where the water is falling down into the river, and then there's a taller one here where it's kind of like rolling down, and then further up here there's like layer upon layer upon layer. I mean, some of these top ones up here are significantly high up.
Okay, so we have to climb up. Sounds like. Okay.
Grang's actually gonna go forward and dislodge the boat and let it just kind of float down the water.
Okay.
And then get back to the hiding spot.
Right. It won't. Yeah, I mean, it's not going to float too far down. Remember, as I said, it gets to that sharp bend, and it'll probably wedge in that bend. So it will be retrievable in whatever state it's now in.
Just for the sake of not having to deal with that so close to where this thing lives.
Okay. You're all still kind of like nervously hiding in your little spots.
No, we can't all. Can we all climb? I'm a little
Some better than others.
I'm not the best climber. I mean, I can, but it's just it's not really my best. It's not my forte.
Warning. Battery levels low. Hardware must be restored.
Oh, okay. Gore, is there a way? I don't know. Can I heal Z somehow? I don't know how this part works.
If you have any healing ability, you can absolutely heal the clank. Clanks, while technically metallic, they have like a life force and a spiritual entity and all that's inside of them, so they do exist. If you have healing ability,
I don't.
We are all mechanics only.
I have no healing whatsoever.
Does anyone? I assume not.
Technically. And of course, you can also try to get a short rest in if you wish.
Yeah, can we maybe take a second to let the kind of recharge and recalibrate here, because won't be too helpful to us. Just the immobile bucket of bolts.
Yes, I would appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, I know... Which type of druid is Oshara?
I'm Warden of
cool
the
kind?
Elements.
Okay, you
Healing
went
kind.
elements. You didn't go
I
renewal,
don't,
right?
I don't heal.
Because they have the ability to like heal hope and hit points. And let's see. I don't think.
Let's take a short rest.
Yeah, and I don't know
in
if
the banks.
Bardy Boy can do anything either.
we're
He
already
might
hidden.
be able to.
hiding spot.
No, I don't have any ways to heal, but I
Okay.
could use with a short rest too.
You can't really take a rest when you're
Scared.
under duress. Yeah.
You are no longer under duress.
Like when we were in the town, maybe, but like.
I mean,
Quiet monkey, we are hidden.
I mean, you can try to. Yeah, I mean, if you can find some way to kind of like get some form of refuge yourselves, or get yourself to a point where you feel more comfortable that you're not in imminent danger, then you could certainly do that.
Perhaps we just need to get to slightly higher ground, so we know it won't get us.
Well, I mean, there is a path to the right of the purple flower thing.
This kind of this kind of goes underneath the waterfall right here.
I'm talking about this.
Well, that you'd have to climb up to. Well, you're already up a level really there anyway, but
Yeah, I mean,
but that's okay. Yeah, so I mean, you could walk around here to be on this level.
If you could help me up.
What?
If you could help me up.
happily, and I will get down on my stomach and like reach over, extend a hand.
Aye.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, this is like the lowest area to the water right here, where it was and where it came up.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, you could wander along and maybe rest up here between the two pools. I mean, it would have to come up this waterfall and over this and up to here. So I mean, at the very least, you would see it coming for sure from that point.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a short rest in the action tracker section. Nestled in one of the corners, you know.
All right. Okay. So short rest mechanics. So basically, then, if you guys take a short rest, you get to do, unless you have any specific things that activate during short rests, you may tend to wounds, clear stress, repair armor, or prep yourselves, which is a way of getting free hope. And you get to do 2 of those things. So the only thing that matters in order is if 2 people decide to prep together, you can each get 2 hope instead of 1. So what does everybody need to do? What does Gerbert want to do?
I think he's gonna help rest and prep with Z, probably. I mean, that makes the most sense.
I can't really prep with you because I need to clear armor and stress.
Oh, okay.
And my understanding is that only does hope
It
points,
does.
right?
Oh,
Correct.
okay. Then never
Yeah.
mind. Okay, sorry.
So
yeah,
you
do your
can't
thing.
you can't prep with Z. You can prep, and if anybody else chooses to prep, then you can double your prep.
Okay.
But if you don't need wounds or stress or
listen,
armor,
I don't
down
need.
to- I'm
I
down
don't
to
need
prep.
any of that.
I'm down to prep hard.
Okay. Yeah, 'cause
do
I'm
you need to do
good.
anything else, Harang?
I don't have a way to make my knowledge less -1. Everything else is looking good. So
Okay, all right. So so Gerbert and Harang, in a minute you can tell us what you're doing to prep yourselves. Ashara, what do you need to do?
So I'll be doing 2 things. I will be repairing my armor and trying to heal up.
Okay. So to repair armor, so roll a d4, and that's going to allow you to repair that number of armor uses. 1. Okay, well, you repair an armor use.
Okay.
And then you said you wanted to clear some wounds
Yeah.
and patch yourself up, so
Bandaging up.
another d4. Before. Okay, so you heal 4 wounds and repaired 1 armor. Okay, Z, you were
Yes. So I'm going to do armor first.
Okay, so you're gonna work on your armor. So again, D4. Before, very nice.
Okay.
Get them valuable armor uses back.
Yes, and then stress.
And clear some stress. Okay, D4.
Another D4. Okay.
For 2. All right.
All right.
And then last but not least, Rick Roll. What are you gonna do?
Armor and health points.
All
But
right.
I do also have a minor health potion.
Mm-hmm.
So could I drink the minor health potion, do the armor, and then prep so I can
You
get the
absolutely could do that if you want to.
All right, so
Now,
that's what I'm going to do.
the only thing is, just bear in mind, the minor health potion will heal D4 when it's drunk. So
Right.
it can be used outside of a short rest mechanic, whereas...
Okay.
The only reason I point that out is because you guys seem to not have anything that you can really do mid-battle.
To heal.
Except someone swigging that.
Fair enough. I mean, I'm down 2 health points. It does a D4, so if I roll really well in kind of possible ways. So
it's up to you. I mean, you certainly can do that.
all right, yeah, I'm going to do the armor and the prep. So
Okay.
I'll save the health potion for.
Alrighty. So D4 for the armor.
There you go.
A 4, very good. And then you can if you wish, you can kind of group prep with Orang and Gerbert. You still only gain 2 each, but you will each get to take 2 hope. All I need to know is, what is Rickroll, Harang, and Gerbert doing to prep themselves for what lies ahead? Like dealing with alligators, climbing to great heights, finding natural springs, motivating yourselves, however you're going to do it. What are you looking at doing? How are you going to pull this off?
Singing our new theme song. Daggerheart!
CFJD, thanks for the
I
raise.
imagine we'll get in a little circle.
Did you say Dragonheart?
You did say dragon.
At the
It
Daggerheart!
it was a soft D.
Can't even get that name right.
No, we're
How's
gonna
it feel?
we're gonna get in a circle, hold hands, little monkey hand in one hand.
I figured it would start with a conversation. I'd just be going up to him because he'd still probably look a little pale at that point and be like,
So,
Are we Stevie Wonder?
yeah, apparently.
Okay.
No, I would basically go up to Gerbert and be like,
so you've never seen anything like that, right?
No, I've never seen anything like that. I've honestly never read about anything like that. It was a dose of reality.
I mean, I've dealt with like big fish before, but I don't know if we can call that one a fish.
They had all the characteristics of some sort of amphibian creature, lizard of some sort. It was many things wrapped into one. I couldn't make sense of it. That doesn't happen
maybe
often.
We could break it down into different.
Also, think about this, and I'm gonna look at Harang and then Gerbert. We're all a bunch of different things too, and look how well we get along.
But not together. Not an amalgamation into one thing.
We could be together.
We can't be too loud. I mean, it's still the surface of the water, but
Okay.
Also, death is just a normal part of life. It's just a natural process. It's okay.
Right, but I'm more interested in that thing finding that part of its natural life than us. So I'm thinking, you said it looks like a bunch of different things all put together. What are those different things, so we can think about maybe how to deal with those different parts? Because, I mean, I've been attacked by a crocodile before. That was, it was a bit of a joke, actually, but... You don't want to get involved with the wrong people. That's what I'm trying to say, I guess.
But we are not the wrong people.
Right, you're my best friends.
Okay,
Oh, now we're
so-
best friends. Interesting.
Well, yeah, we just got attacked by some sort of a crazy creature. I think that fear bonds us for the rest of our days, right?
And can you let Z know? Because I don't think Z considers us anything other than a threat to you.
Well, that's deep in his programming. I cannot change that. That needs the master lock and the master key. And unfortunately, I do not have access to that, so there's nothing I could really do.
Didn't you take apart Z's back before?
Well, to a certain level, yes, but not.
I mean, I didn't see what you did because I was too busy molesting a tree.
Oh, yes. No, I only
around
have,
the corner of the tree, you know.
I only have a high level access. I don't have restricted access.
Doesn't have administrative rights.
That's right. There's still a parental lock on it, unfortunately, and I haven't gotten to be enough of a big boy to have that removed yet.
Correct.
Thank you, Z. Yeah, Z.
Oh, okay. So what I'm gonna get is, if in the event that we have to fight it, which it looks like we can maybe clear, just north of here through this to not have to do that, that would be really good. That would be good. But in the event that it notices us, springs out of the water, and is some kind of weird chimeric, evil death machine, and tries to get us all, how to deal with that? We know it's weak on its sides, like, you know, more like an alligator or a crocodile. But how else can we? Once we get it on land, can we get it on land?
I mean, probably.
Again?
We did before.
Well, yeah, but fully. I mean, like, I don't think it can do much once it's out, other than like, you saw how short its legs were.
Yes, I did.
Very stompy, though.
Very stompy, yes.
I mean, I
I
have
think
my
we can
regular
figure it
routes,
out.
but we could maybe fish it out.
Fish it?
With a fishing pole?
I'm not a
With
fishing pole,
bait.
What?
I hear they like monkeys.
With bait.
Okay, so right, you mentioned that before, and you said you called me son, and then do I want to be bait? Is that still your plan?
Oh, not anymore. I don't believe you would make good bait. You would just get eaten.
Oh, okay.
Correct. I do not approve. I will be the bait.
Oh,
We need bait. I mean, there's a lot of glowing things around here, and
I mean, we're
It's
next
already
to two.
mad.
We're next to two right here.
I can make myself glow.
you can.
really?
What?
Yes. Recent update 2.35.
Okay, so a couple.
You got some LEDs in there or something? Like,
LED eyes.
That is none of your business. But yes.
No, Harang, they're bioluminescent fungi, you know?
And you got the $12.99
I
ones that are only
might-
one color though. It doesn't have the auto-changing colors. You pay the extra $5.
I will get that next time.
We did get it above water. I might be able to temporarily restrain the beast. So
Really?
You could attack it.
I mean,
It
I
is
could try
possible.
I could try to put it to sleep, but you know, it's big, so it might not work. But suffice it to say, my human friend, you were quite safe with us. We will make sure you don't die. So rest easy.
Okay. Sure.
I mean, if anyone's gonna die here, it's gonna be me.
Oh, what? Why would you say that?
Oh, well, if I die here, then I'm not dying in prison. They really like to put me there.
And will it be a heroic death, Harang, or sacrificial, maybe?
Not intentionally, no. I would
But I
hate
mean,
that.
if you were to die, would that be what you would be shooting for?
Well, I guess if my death could do something good, that'd probably be better than, like, in a hole somewhere.
I mean, a futile death is pointless. It's not good storytelling. So, yes, it would have to be heroic or sacrificial.
I would agree, mostly. But, well, now I don't want to die. 'Cause, see, you made me think about it.
You brought it up. I was merely piggybacking on what you said.
Hey, can we maybe stop talking about like dying and stuff?
But dying and
Gerbert's feeling a little.
The fear of dying is what's holding you back. If you don't fear death,
Then
what's
you
there to be afraid
die
of?
faster. I've
Yeah,
seen it.
yeah. I don't know if that's quite the way to think about it.
So, so the long and short of the answer is to how you guys prepare. Is basically to prepare for the inevitable demise that you're likely to face.
Apparently,
is what it sounds like to me.
I mean, that's hopeful, isn't it? Isn't that hopeful? I think so.
And then you preface it by going, but let's hope that doesn't happen. Alrighty. Okay, so yeah, so you gain your 2 hope each.
We don't deserve it. Okay.
Hey. If that's how you 3 decide
imagine we're
to focus
talking-
and if the reality of the situation, examining the realities and the actual factualities of what's going on, maybe that gives you hope.
I mean, that honestly would give my character a hope.
There you
To
go.
like put it on the table. Yeah.
Alrighty. So yeah. So you've had your short rest. What do you guys want to do now? You're kind of perched up here amongst the green fauna, surrounded. As I said, there's a beautiful kind of floral smell in the air. It smells very sweet. Everything is just so... And if you can imagine, all the waters have got this, as I said, like a translucent glow about them. So it's really kind of like almost surreal and fey-like.
Kind of look at the area to see where we would climb up next, which I assume. Be getting to
From the
here
side
somehow.
you are going, you would either have to kind of try to navigate yourselves along and underneath all this kind of like moss that's kind of flowing down. You could like grab hold of the moss and then use it to kind of like sideways shuffle. Of course, you could just dive in the pool and swim across. Everybody could do that if they wanted to. Alternatively, you kind of have to go down a level and then follow it along here to kind of get to here and then climb back up to here.
Could I turn myself into a bridge? With my little
Maybe
arms
if
and
at the
body?
short, I mean,
Long way
I don't know that you'd be. That's quite a way.
Well, like not over here. I'd come over here by Oshara and like from this.
Yeah, like the short
Well,
part here.
yeah. So they could like either climb across me like this or climb across my body.
Technically, that would mean that you can extend out to about 14 feet.
Yeah.
Can you do that?
Shouldn't I?
You tell me.
I think I've made it clear that
I mean,
have
we know
extendo
that
arms and legs.
we know that your arms extend, and we know that your legs extend. We haven't
Yes.
determined how far.
You said I'm 6'6".
Yeah, I think
So
I
your
would say it's
wingspan-
probably on the furthest echelons of your stretching, but I mean, it's really only just over doubling your size.
Yeah, that's not too bad, right?
So if you're able to kind of like double the length of
You'd
your
have to,
legs and
like,
double the length of your
climb
arms,
down and then like
Yeah, then I gotta kind of fall down.
Oh my god.
timber. Crap.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say slowly lower
hey.
you into it, but yeah.
I am for letting anything have a chance to work.
Yay.
So, but again, this is not going to be a run of the mill sort of thing. So,
Hey.
let's see. This would be really this. I'm guessing because what you got to kind of do is position your legs and then like throw yourself forward, hurl out your arms, and try to grab hold of something on the other side, right, to create a bridge. So, I'm going to say that that's going to come under agility.
Yes.
So let's have a agility roll. DC 12.
Okay.
Not too difficult for you, but at the same time.
Ooh, oh!
Yeah, hell yeah!
Double
I'm so good
11.
at being a bridge.
Ooh.
Hell yeah!
Wow.
So that's a crit.
I do this all the time.
Oh yay! We're playing bridge. We're playing bridge.
So you gain a hope. And you can clear a stress if you have one.
Start taking out the cards.
I
Someone
am.
say bridge.
I love drawbridge. What? Oh no, we played
Oh.
we played drawbridge.
Oh.
Add
I-
this to your experience list.
Yeah, I like to play that
Yeah,
story
can I add
Identity
it to my
Castle.
experience?
Well, here's the thing.
NB Bridge?
That's exactly how this game works. So when you go up a level, you'll gain a new experience, and the idea is you pick something from your play that
Oh, I see.
so you can literally say
Can be bridge.
can be bridge. That is
Okay,
that is
I'll
an
add that to my-
experience that you develop, and then you can gain pluses on anytime you want to be bridge.
Sugar trouble water.
When you're down, I will
Was that a crit or something?
I get a theme song.
Love
Yay!
Okay. Yeah. So, all right. So, yeah. Kind of describe to us how and what happens here.
Yes, please.
Oh boy. Well, I get real tall.
So you're gonna
Add-
extend your
my
legs
legs-
first.
Go first, all the way up, and then I have little heels that pop out, like little kitten heels,
No.
to tilt me. Yes, Shagget, you can't say no. That's the beauty of this game.
Yeah, you can't say no.
And I tilt up, and they keep going just slightly, like a little jack, basically, just pumping me up all the way until I tilt over. And then as I almost hit the water, my arms shoot out really, really fast and lock in and hook into the other side.
All right. So you're basically grabbing hold of two mighty fists full of dirt,
Yes,
and then your
little claw
your
hands
feet are
just-
kind of like dug into the ground, and then there's kind of like this suspension bridge made of Z1000.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah,
Sh-
I
sh-
mean, you
Gerber?
succeeded well enough that I am going to
Love
say,
this image.
as you did it with a crit, I'm not even going to require anybody else to make an agility check to walk across. It's like you are
Very sturdy.
so
It's a sturdy-ass
exemplifying
bridge.
bridge right now that how could anybody
I'm so
not
happy.
cross this? I mean, it is bridge.
It is bridge.
If you look in the dictionary under bridge, there's a picture of
Terabithying.
you.
with a clank with
That was
platform
not a
shoes.
good bridge, though. Sass, you've
That's
seen
it.
that. You've read it. It's not good. You don't want to be a Terabithian bridge.
Yeah, it's
No.
not a good bridge to be on.
Bad bridge.
Bad bridge. Okay,
Bad
yeah.
bridge.
So while Z is currently in place, you can all cross over to this side of the river here safely if you wish. If that is your intent,
right.
shift your little token
Yeah.
over there and let me know.
Ah,
that-
very good, Thee. Well done, just as we always play.
Boink.
Yep.
I love this. This is the
All
best
right.
version of this game.
Okay. So you all bridge across to here. And then how do you retract yourself over to that side, Z? How does that look?
I'm sorry, what?
Oh,
I
how,
think you
how
just
does
stay
Z
tall.
drag herself? Like, how do you get over there?
Okay.
I'm assuming you're not walking over yourself.
No, so my heels will disengage from the earth now. They'll unhook,
It's
Okay.
like a
and my legs will
yourself
retract into my body, like real short, like all the way up,
Okay.
and then my arms will
Oh, like a
pull me
turtle.
back.
Okay, so basically you're like flopping into the water and then it's like retracting all the way up so that you're
Shagget hates it, so yes, that's the correct
okay.
answer.
The only
so
thing
yeah.
I hate about this is the kitty shoes. That's all I
So
hate.
Z basically comes
Very
up out of the
fashionable.
water, and there's like glowing blue water kind of like draining out from every joint, every place that the armor is not like a solid mass. Just a shower of water is just dripping down onto the ground. It's only about it's only kind of like about a 5-foot incline to clamber up to this. So again, for anybody that's tall, it's not even something that's difficult. And then for the only person that's really to where that height would be an issue, they're a little climby dude. So, but yeah, you guys
Yeah.
can all get yourselves up to here as requested. Okay. So from here you can see, again, there is more pools, but there's a, you've got like multiple layers here. There's like, from here, there's a step up to here. There's a step up to here. Then there's a step up to here. And you can kind of see, as I said, there's kind of like a pretty large cascade. However, as you guys are kind of like pulled up here, we may or may not notice something occurring. I would say that with all the mushrooms and funguses and stuff like that, and the fact that you're somewhat in tune with such things.
Based on my last roll.
Rick roll.
Yeah.
If you will, give me a instinct check, DC 12, to see if you notice anything possibly odd or strange or out of the ordinary.
All right. I'm not going to spend a hope and use my experience.
Okay. Because it didn't do me any good.
This is a straight roll.
Nice.
12. Perfect. Okay, so you gain a hope. 12, it's just a success. But success is success. You notice that some of these larger flowers that have kind of like, they've got funguses appear to be like growing on them, but they're kind of moving. They seem to be like almost like they've got a life of their own, and that seems somewhat unnerving to you.
Okay, I'm gonna hold out both my arms to the people behind me, and I'm gonna kind of hiss to Harang, who's ahead of me. Everyone
Harang will stop.
Stop! And I'm gonna point at. I'm assuming it's this one and the blue one, right? The blue and the brown.
This one here, this one
ones.
here, and this one here.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna be like, the big plants. There's something wrong with them. I'm sensing danger. I'm sensing death. And I'm gonna look dramatically to Ashara.
Ba-ba-ba-bum.
How far do we need to be from these?
Say we kill them from far away. Don't have to get close to them.
We have to kill them.
Yeah, Rain, get your ass back here.
Yeah, I'm gonna. You see, I got my crossbow in my little feet, which are also hands, and I'm just like.
Okay.
So this is how we do it.
Well, fire would be more ideal, but
I have that.
Fire in your soul, or
No, I have it by staff. Here.
oh,
well, see that brown one ahead of us?
Yes.
Blast it. Let's see what happens.
Okay. Sure. I'm gonna take aim at the one he's pointing out, Gord. I'm gonna shoot. My staff emits basically a fireball.
Okay.
Let me tell you exactly what it is here. It's my great staff. Does it really say? No, it's just a magic D6.
Yeah, it's a range D6, and that would each time as your proficiency goes up, so does the number of D6s that you roll.
Got it. Okay. So
you do get to add your casting stat to it.
yes, I add 2 knowledge to it, and I will roll that now.
Alrighty.
1, 2, roll. Ooh.
Well,
Okay.
that kind of works out narratively ideal.
You're welcome.
Okay, so yeah, the fireball goes and slams into the base of this large plant. Roll the damage for me.
Yep, and because of my what's it called? Powerful, my feature, I roll with advantage, so I'm going to roll 2d6.
Oh yeah.
1 And
Two or three. Okay, 3.
I'll take the 3.
All right. Well, I mean, it's a pretty solid blast. These things are fairly moist, so it doesn't like catch fire immediately, but there's a large char, and the whole thing kind of goes shh. And out of the top of it, you suddenly see a flight of little creatures. At first, it looks like giant, like large dragonflies. Then you realize, wait, these have got arms and legs. They look to be some kind of like pixies or fairies or something. In a very, very high-pitched voice, one of them says, "They're trying to burn down our homes!
Oh, no.
To arms, my people! To arms!" And out of each of these comes a swarm of these tiny little dudes.
Ah!
And they come flooding out. They immediately like form into like almost like a military flying formation as they're preparing to attack. What do you guys want to do?
I'm just gonna look at everyone kind of bewildered and be like, I was honestly expecting the plant to be venomous or something, not that.
You didn't know what I was shooting at?
Well, the plant was moving suspiciously, like it was gonna
Hold
like,
up a white flag.
carnivorous plant.
Talk to them like you did to the gator thing.
Apologize.
I'm sorry.
We surrender.
Sorry.
We come in peace.
I did accidental discharge.
He's done that several times.
I'm sorry. Did not mean to do that.
Oh. Okay.
Wait, what is that? What do you mean by that?
Remember?
Remember?
That's all it took.
That is the best example ever of yes and improvisation. Remember. It's both a command and a question. That is so good.
All right. Okay. So, I mean, you did just blast these guys home, and that's not the most friendly thing. But you might be charming enough. Give me a presence roll.
Okay, and I do have an experience for that.
Okay. What is the experience?
My experience is I've never met a stranger, so I get a +1 to where I'm just so nice and affable.
Okay.
I just like, hey, creatures I've literally never seen before in my life, like total accident, my bad, just coming off very. I'm trying to be as less alpha as I possibly can. Like,
Okay.
I am just cowering down
Well,
to
the
these things.
DC to convince them, despite the fact that you just blasted their house, is a 50. But
Okay.
you're going to use your presence, whatever the
so I'm
stat is.
Costing a hope for that, and so my
spend your
presence is
hope
1,
to use
so I get a
your
+2.
experience, so +2.
Get a
So,
+2.
Let's see how this goes.
Oh boy. Okay, here we go. 1.
It's a tough
2.
one. but
Let's
it's-
get a
it's
good
doable.
roll. Let's get a good roll
Come
here.
on.
Come on, man, you got this.
Okay.
Well, the good news is
I got my
you
hope
just
back.
failed.
A
You just
hope?
failed.
Wow.
Oh man.
Oh, my rolls have been so bad, but I get my hope back, so that's
You
nice.
get your back. Okay. Upon saying that, they kind of just seem to like the wings start fluttering even louder. So there's now like a loud.
Well, I think what
swarm.
happens, what happens is trying to be as affable as possible. I've made myself a bigger threat because I'm like puffing up. I'm like, no, I'm sorry, it's not that big of a
One
deal.
of
They're
them's like,
he's getting bigger.
Oh, look, now he's mocking us.
Threatening.
He's mocking our wings.
Wing.
And yeah, it would. But you didn't fail with fear, so you just failed.
No, I didn't. Yes, I did.
Does anybody else wish to engage in this fiasco?
I do
or-
take out a white handkerchief and I'm waving it around.
I
like,
mean, yeah, we're
we
all
surrender.
we're all saying that, right? It's like
Well,
a
I mean,
team
if
effort. We're all
each of
saying
you
we're
want
sorry.
to try and do that,
Yeah. Please.
but after each failure, I'm imposing an additional 1, so it's a 16 for whoever who goes next.
Oh god, it's 16. Okay, we can still do this, guys.
Oh, yeah.
I will go next, and I will use my Heart of the Poet class feature to roll a D4 on my roll.
So you get an extra D4?
Whoa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, that
When
helps your
speaking to a
odds.
person you're trying to impress, persuade, or offend, you can spend hope and add 1d4 to an action roll.
Ooh, that could be
Very
really
useful,
helpful.
Very nice. Okay. So yeah, you're going to use your presence.
Roll
So
high.
2d12 plus presence, and then we're going to add a d4 to the end of that, which gets
Can I
added.
Come
I
on,
love you.
Shaggy, you son of a
You
bitch.
need a 16.
Do it.
Alright. Let's go.
Use the power of love.
Oh
What is
my
the-
god.
Oh no! What is
okay.
it? It didn't
I
roll.
can't see. It's on
It's
top.
so bad.
It's so bad. It's
Yeah,
a
it was a
smooth,
two.
It's like Matt's.
The d4 is a 2.
Oh, so you can't even.
So you failed, and you failed with fear.
Oh my
Shaggy.
lord!
Okay.
I still love you. That was awful.
All right. So, what was
So
it you
fucking
said to
bad.
them specifically, Shaggy?
Oh
That
boy.
pissed them off so
well-
much.
We thought the plant was deadly, not the people in it, because we don't consider you people.
Oh my-
Oh my god.
That's how it's coming across. From
Okay.
a phone to,
Well, in that case,
Pixie Legion.
in that case,
Shit.
the leader of the front flight says, "Oh, so now we're not even considered sentient beings to you? Fine.
What?
Come, my people! Charge! Attack! Attack!" And they all suddenly start and start zooming
no.
in. So we're gonna
Do
start.
we get to do other stuff or
no,
no?
because he rolled with
Damn it.
fear, so it goes.
Damn it,
yeah.
Shaggy.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Which
I
is,
had a
which is
thing.
nice.
Fuck.
So at this point, they were just holding their positions, but now they are going to swoop in. So we're going to use an action and have them fly down to here. Now these are a type of enemy considered a swarm. So you've fought entities that were singles. You have fought entities that were minions, and this is a swarm. And swarms kind of work a little bit like minions in the fact that they all operate together, but the way that they kind of work is a little different. So they're all going to come flying in. Let's see here. Flustering swarm. All right, let's see. So you were the one that pissed them off, right, Mr. Rickroll?
Sure. Yeah.
All right, so the first one comes flying down. Their action is not to attack, but they are using something called Flustering Swarm. They're basically like buzzing around your head, sticking their tongue out at you, like grabbing your tendrils and stuff, and just being an absolute nuisance. What that does, it means that you have disadvantage on your next action against them. Then one of the hordes will attempt to attack you. So what is your evasion?
You're me, right?
Yes.
It's a 9.
Alrighty. And they have a -3 because they're kind of terrible and not very good at fighting.
They're still gonna hit me. Let's be real.
Nope, a
I
5.
deserve it.
Okay,
Oh,
so yeah, one's distracting you, but the other one, the others all kind of come flying in and start trying to stab at you with like little teeny tiny spears that are not much bigger than toothpicks. None of which manage to find the ability to get a solid blow. The last little group that we have here is probably who's closest to where they are. It's going to be Ashara. So they are going to attempt the same thing. They're going to be trying to like get inside your shell, like zooming down in and start poking
Ew.
around inside.
My private spot.
What is
I
No.
regretted that immediately.
No.
Yeah, Jane.
what is your evasion, Ashara?
God.
8.
Hey, okay, so again, a 10. So they do succeed.
Good. Okay.
Alrighty. Now their damage is very much dependent on how many of them there are. So they're currently all here. So yeah, they kind of zoom down into every like little nook and cranny, and they're like getting past the shell and like trying to poke you in more sensitive areas. For a grand total
Those soft bits.
Not any
16.
better.
So 16 points of physical damage.
Severe.
So if you
16. Damn.
when they're all alive, they diminish very quickly. But
Yeah.
the so you can spend armor to burn that down if you wish.
God, that's a lot to get. Okay, so my armor is 5, so to get it down to a 6, I'd have to spend 3 of them. That's annoying.
Unless anybody has anything to assist, or
I don't.
I will just use 1 armor to
Okay.
get it down to a major.
so you take two hit points of damage then.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So that happens.
Ouch!
And then
Please
with all the
stop
commotion,
hurting me.
we're going to spend another off point of the action tracker to engage this. So with all the noise, suddenly this thing comes bursting up out of the water, using its tail much like an alligator would, but because it's so much longer,
Eat them.
it can actually propel itself quite significantly into the air. And we have, I'm gonna roll a d4. 1 or a 2, Oshara. 3 or a 4, it's gonna be Gerbert, because you two are the closest.
Oh god.
2, Oshara.
Oh no.
I'm just an old turtle.
Either one was
Alright.
going to be bad.
So we're gonna spend a fear to use an ability. And that ability is
TPK.
pull under.
Swallow whole.
Basically, if it makes an attack and its body and target are within range of the water, which it is, on a success, it basically is going to pull you into the water with it. It has to hit you, of course, first. But this thing isn't like the pixies. This is actually a little bit more combative. So, what is your evasion?
8.
Alrighty. It's going to hit. So the damage, it reduces the damage. It doesn't hit as hard. But... oh, it still hit pretty hard. 13.
Oof.
Okay. Let's see.
Now, ironically, this is kind of good that it was you. So it grabs you and pulls you down into the water with it. Not
Use
you.
2 armor uses to just get 1 hit
Okay.
down.
Anybody that's pulled into the water, you gain the condition drowning, which basically means that you slowly will drown if you don't get out. However, that does not affect you because you are aquatic and you're at home underwater. So, for all intensive purposes, it just grabbed hold of you and pulled you down into the water with it. So you're in there with this thing, but other than the damage that it did and it pulled you off the plateau, you have had no other ill effects. And with that, for now, narratively, that's all that really makes sense that should happen. So back over to you guys.
Okay, well, I'm going to do something that I've been meaning to do and just like, I honestly just really didn't have much of a chance to be honest.
Okay.
I am going to, because Z's taken some punishment here on my behalf. And so I'm going to look over at Z and without really saying anything, I'm going to cast a spell
Alrighty.
And this spell is as follows.
Oh.
It's a spell
That does a thing.
that
Does.
is
Now you sound like me.
it's called Taya's armor. I think it's basically an ice armor. Where is that on here, Gore?
I
wrote it down.
It's a Book of Avaya spell. Yeah. Use an action to spend a hope.
Yes.
And then give somebody you can touch 1d6 to their armor score the next time they mark an armor slot.
Yes. So I'm giving that to Z.
Yeah, they don't stack. They basically just become like d6 to use.
Correct.
For the next time. So
and that's just an auto, like, hit, right? I guess.
Yeah.
It's on a
You
friend.
spend a hope and you use
Yep.
your action, and that happens.
Okay, I'm gonna do that and then get behind Z.
Okay.
Just kind of beef him up a little bit, and then I will give the floor over to everybody else.
All right.
That
So
gives me
Z,
again?
you need to roll a d6.
I need to roll these.
Or sorry, Gerbert rolls the d6.
I rolled a d6.
Yep.
Okay. Now, Christy, I understand this is gambler's fallacy. This should be a 4 or above.
Okay.
Fuck.
Well,
But that does
We
mean
are not
you
going to Vegas
have,
anytime soon.
No.
So
No,
your
we're not.
armor score is actually 2 higher than for the next time you use it.
+2 to armor score.
Yep. Just for the next time that it is used. So the next time you use your armor to reduce damage, it's 2 higher than it normally would.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
I want to do something that will be very quick, and it won't hopefully turn it over. There's no intention of turning it back over to you, Gore.
Yeah, if it's not an action, if it doesn't classify as an action, as in it's not an ability or you don't do a thing.
It's a class feature rally. I basically want to do the rally feature.
Yeah, no,
again,
that's not a thing. That's just something you can do.
to give everyone a buff. And basically, what's going to happen is I'm going to say we can deal with these pigs. Holy shit! What is that in the water? Oh, it's back. We can do it. We're death or glory. And that's my rallying cry.
Okay, so basically
guys.
what that means is all of you have a d6 rally dice.
Yeah.
And you can spend your rally dice to roll it towards an action, a reaction, your damage roll, or you can use it, you can sacrifice it to basically roll that and remove that number of stress. So it's like a stress clearer or a buff. It depends on how you want to use it. But everybody has one.
Okay.
Alrighty, yeah, and that's not an action. It doesn't require an action.
Yeah, I'm gonna go last.
Okay.
I suppose I should start swinging my sword at the swarm.
Okay.
Might be a good idea.
Might be
I feel like
wise.
this might be the time to do that.
Alrighty, so you wish to launch into attack against the swarms. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So it's a regular roll. I get a +3 to hit.
Alright, DC 10 to hit him.
I have agility.
But
no, it's +3. Okay.
they go down pretty
Because it's
quick.
my short sword. Okay. So there's my attempt to hit. That is not
That's a
great.
hit.
Oh, thank goodness.
Oh,
I get a D8 plus 2 from my agility plus 1 from my my warrior, and then I'm going to add my Slayer die to that.
Okay.
So that's a 6. I get +2 and +1. So I got +3 on top of that. Okay, so here's my damage.
Alright, 13. So that is a
nice.
severe to them. So that's you basically like dive in there and you see little minions and wings start to fall out of the fray, and about half of them are dead in that
Damn.
attack. Okay, I am not going to take a fear. Instead, I'm going to use, because one of the changes was originally in 1.2, you got a fear, and you took over. So you got an action basically, and you got a fear, right? So if you rolled fear, it moves over to me. I get a fear, and then. But what they did is they changed it to where you can either take the fear, and then you have to basically burn actions and everything like we normally do, or you can just take an action. So, which is what I think makes sense.
So I
here.
rolled with fear there. So you're going to take.
So basically, I'm not going to take it as a fear. I'm taking it as an action. So they're going to kind of like try to retaliate, like when you get it, because they're so small and they're buzzing around. So even when you're fighting at them and swiping, they're all still trying to stab you at the same time. So what is your evasion, sir?
So Harangue's evasion is 13.
Okay.
That is a miss.
That's a miss. Okay, so they all swipe at you and do their best to try to, hit you as you're hitting them, but to no avail. But you guys
imagine this just looks like a kid running around with a stick screaming.
Swinging at fireflies and hitting some of them. So basically it's staying with you guys right now.
I'd like to give it a whack.
Okay.
At the swarm.
Because you got Whirlwind too.
Yeah, if that's all right with y'all.
So
yeah, you're the one. So
probably this top swarm here
okay.
Is the one that arguably closest to Harangue. So that one's been diminished. But then there's the swarm here and the swarm here. So you can. I mean, they're all buzzing around all over the place. So you can really target whichever one you want.
I'll go for the one we're already working on, so we can eliminate something.
Alrighty.
Okay.
So DC 10.
My roll, and I get a +1, right? Yes, +1. Phew.
Oh, lovely. And you succeed with hope, so you gain hope.
Nice.
Yay. Stacking up that hope. I will
add
definitely
one to the tracker. All right. Roll that damage.
Beautiful bean footage.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
98. Here.
So that's 4 plus whatever your primary stat is with the weapon.
Oh,
and then anything else that you've got.
Okay, wait 1 second, honey. It's my turn. Just hold on 1 second. I'm going to use a whirlwind.
Oh, okay.
Because I have some hope stacked up.
Yeah.
So that, that goes to additional enemies succeed, take half damage.
Yep. But you must be doing more than 4 points of damage, though, too.
What do you mean?
Because what is the weapon that you're using?
The sword? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it takes a agility +2.
Yeah, so that's 6 then.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yes, so 6.
Okay.
For the main one.
And
for the main
you can
hit.
use that inspiration die that you got too.
I can. The rally dice?
Yeah, you can use the rally dice.
Ooh, yeah, I'll take that too. Let's just whittle these guys down here.
Because if you throw that on a whirlwind, then you have like massive damage.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Another
4. Okay,
there.
so that's 10 damage.
10 and
Okay.
5, right?
All right. Well,
5 for the rest.
so the first group that you hit, they take severe. Yeah, it's like they are just blasted to pieces. There's nothing left of the first group.
Genocide.
But again, because each swarm counts
Never
as an
heard
entity.
it said quite with that tone before.
The swarm that's
Because
to
he
the
had better
next,
friends.
the swarm that's next to them is also going to take 5.
Oh, great.
So they also take damage. Not as much,
Sweet.
but so you've actually killed one and started in on the second with your whirlwind attack. And you guys are still in the driving seat.
All right. Anyone else want to?
Jane or Matt?
Yeah. Well, does Jane want to try to like get out of there?
You did.
Because if not, Jane, I'm just gonna shoot. I don't even think I can
So,
see the alligator anymore.
Again, as this is beta and just kind of thing. So this is the time. These sort of things, knowing how the mechanics work, right? This is where you would typically, Jane would want to say, right out the gate, as soon as it comes back to you guys, I'm getting the hell out of here, or whatever, so that she goes first. That way, worst case scenario, you roll with fear, nothing changes, you're still in the water. But if you wait until later in the round to act...
There's 3 actions where this thing can just gnaw on you.
It's the possibility that one of the others will roll with fear, and then you won't get your action before it makes an attack. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay.
So that's kind of part of the thing, is to look at the scene and see what's happening, and then figure out... And again, narratively, the second you get pulled into the water with this thing, you're not going to be sitting there floating, just kind of like treading water while you think, should I get out of here?
I would be.
You know,
glorious death.
So yeah. So what do you wish to do, Ashara?
Okay. So while I land in the water, I immediately retreat into my shell, and out pops a small little frog. And I swim away, and then try to make it to shore, then hop back to where everybody else is. And then I'm turning into an aquatic skeleton.
So yeah.
Using sneak.
Yep. So gives you advantage on sneak and swim. All right. So the action, that's an ability that just happens. So you're going to want to make a sneak roll. So basically, you will have advantage, and you're going to be using finesse to try to hop or swim your way over to the shore without this thing realizing that that's what's going on.
Okay. Here we go.
And
5 and 5.
2 5s. That's a crit.
Woo! Nice.
So you gain a hope, can clear a stress.
But you could choose the one.
If you wanted to, but I would recommend not. All right, so
but you could,
because your shell kind of like when you disappear into your shell, like it kind of like it's there, but it's not there, right? It's more like a spectral form of the shell. It's not really your shell.
Yeah, the shell's looks like that, but the shell's gone. Yeah.
So basically, yeah, this thing is going to like make a beeline for the shell. And that's what it's going for, right? But slaps down on the shell while it's busy realizing, wait, there's nothing really here. You frog your way to the bank and clamber up and out of the water away from harm. Yeah, you guys, it's still with you guys.
Can I still not see the alligator, right? It's under the water at this point?
It's kind of flashing around because it's looking for a target. So there's parts of it that kind of emerge, and so it's in the water, but there are definitely aspects that you can see the alligator. Yeah.
Okay, then I'm
it's
gonna
targetable.
I'm gonna step to the side, and I am going to cast another spell, which is range, and I once again am going to cast my Splendor spell, which does cost a hope to cast.
Okay.
Bolt Beacon. It is far range, and on a hit, I spend a hope. So not unless I hit.
That's right, yep.
You send a bolt of 1d8 magical damage, and the creature glows bright and becomes vulnerable.
Indeed. Very useful.
And you guys all still have the rally die, unless, except for Christy's.
Only Crispy's use hers, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, do I need to call the rally die before I roll here?
Nope.
Okay, good.
That's one of the things that this game does a little different. It allows you, in most cases, to decide after the fact if you want to trigger something or not.
Nice.
It'll specify
that's
if it doesn't have to do that.
Okay. Now, guys.
Same as like you don't burn the hope unless you hit, right? So,
statistically speaking.
Oh my god, here we go again.
This should be a good roll.
And again,
statistically speaking, all rolls are in our favor.
I mean, it is.
I'm gonna roll the d6 because I don't know if that's gonna hit it or not.
Well,
do we know if that hits?
I'll tell you if it does or doesn't.
Then yes.
And then you can decide if you want to roll d6.
Okay. 13.
Okay. So that will actually 13 will not quite hit it.
Then I will use the d6.
Okay.
Now, guys.
On one.
Stop saying that. You're making it worse.
Oh,
Hey!
nice. Yeah. You definitely hit it.
Gorgeous.
Okay.
Yes.
So then I roll a d8, but I roll 2 because I have advantage. So we'll roll 1 and 4. Okay, so
So
we
it's a
hit the
4?
4. Yes, and it is now vulnerable and is glowing bright. And I will mark a hope off.
Alrighty, yep. So that means
What does vulnerable mean in this game? again?
everybody gets advantage against it.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hella good.
It's
Hella
good.
good.
It's good.
It's like if wizards had a better version of fairy fire.
Yeah.
Here you go.
And how much
Yeah,
damage did you
cool.
do? You said it was 8?
It was 4 damage. It was a d8. I rolled a 4.
Oh, okay, right.
Does that include your
But
casting?
yeah, did you include your
modifier?
caster stat?
Oh, my caster stat is knowledge, so plus 2, so 6.
6. Okay. All right. Well,
Thank you. I forgot it's for damage too.
Yeah. You did a wound, so it definitely got hit. Okay. So, but that was with fear. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna burn 2 of these tokens to allow our 2 little swarms to attack again. However, this time they're not gonna run. They're not gonna have the opportunity to really try to use that distracting tactic. Now they're all just more out for blood. The one, logically, this is the one that got hit by the whirlwind, so it is going to attempt to attack the clank in retaliation. Seeing all of its little comrades die to the blow from the clank, it is zooming. They're kind of zooming in, and all you guys really hear is ting, 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 and it's like does nothing. You hear one of them go, "Oh dear." This
Poor little
swarm, you are a frog. They are not even remotely aware of the existence of a frog in the undergrowth. They're up in the air flying, so I think, yeah, logically, Mushroom Boy.
Yeah.
They are going to, the remaining group hurtles towards you. Little tiny spears at the ready.
Oh, that hits.
Okay, this group is still intact.
Hit.
Alrighty. With their full might behind them, they will do 8 points of damage. I don't know why it rolled twice, but it was 8 either way, so.
I'm gonna spend an armor to
Okay.
turn that major into a minor.
Alright, so you just take a point.
Okay. So armor uses and then hit points.
Alrighty. And then I'm going to use one more action. This thing pulls itself up onto the edge of the bank. But it's kind of like takes a little while because it like lunges up there and then it has to like pull itself and scramble up. So that is all we're going to do right now. Over to you.
I am going to attack the swarm that just attacked me
Okay.
with my rapier, and I'm going to mark a stress so I could attack it twice. It gives me the chance
That's
to
ability
within
that
one
you can do,
action.
the rapier, yeah.
So
So it still counts as an action, but only an action.
an action. So this plus 2 for the first attack.
And that's a
Hey!
crit.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
And so let's resolve that one. So
Shut up.
this is which one are you
can say
attacking?
whatever I want.
Are you attacking
The swarm. The healthy swarm. The healthy swarm.
Okay. All right. Yep.
That attacked me. It makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and plus like the max of the damage, right?
Yeah.
This is
So
a bonus.
you're gonna roll as you would do normally, but then whatever the dice is, you'll add the maximum.
So that would be the damage all told with the bonus because of the
Yeah, because you're adding 8 plus the 2, and you rolled an 8, so yeah, 18. All right. Yeah, that's severe. So you done 3 damage and killed half of those with that hit, and now you hit him again.
then with the this marked stress.
And you gained a hope and cleared a stress, don't forget.
Okay.
Because you critted.
Right. Well, there's the other one.
That one doesn't quite hit.
I'm gonna spend my D6.
Okay.
To make it a hit, because we need to get these things out of the way, right?
And if you spend the D6, it will hit because it's 10. So.
Oh well. Yep. Okay, I'm just making sure.
All right, and yep.
And this is just
so yeah, you definitely hit.
Let's do. For 5. To that one, the healthy one, the one.
But that is enough to do one more. So it's there is 2/3 of those guys are gone now. Okay, it's still with you guys. If anybody else wants to act.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, go.
What you doing, Turtle Girl?
Yes.
So I
Yes.
see this alligator.
The alligator.
Is
Yeah.
that right?
Alligator.
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 Alligator light up.
Alligator. Alligator.
Right? And it's come up on land a little bit, so I'm gonna hop down.
Right, you're still a frog, so.
Yeah, hop down.
Hop down, huh?
Doop, 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 doop. And I'm going to find my opportunity here, right here,
Okay.
to where, so as my frog, I make a big leap, and all of a sudden, I transform into a giant otter, and then I immediately try to bite into it.
Oh.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting Weird Al. I wasn't.
Love it. Okay, yeah, so you see a little green speck jump out and suddenly go whoom, into a huge, big, brown otter and tries to clamp jaws down from behind. So yeah, that's gives you all your bonuses right there. Yeah, make an attack.
All right, I will attack. So I have advantage.
And
on
it attacks with
this.
strength, and you get +2 because you on your strength
Okay.
in this form.
So I will. I can't. Okay, I'm just gonna roll add 2. Just add 2 to this.
Alrighty.
Okay.
You will hit it, but it is with
Okay.
fear,
Here. All right.
so it will retaliate afterwards. But that's okay. Makes sense. What are you doing? How much damage do you get to do?
Oh.
D8 physical damage +2. So D8 +2.
Seven.
Alrighty. So you will inflict a wound on this huge thing. Alright, yeah, so you kind of like dive in and snap down kind of right where the scales, kind of like where the bony head, like right behind there where it's the most vulnerable. And this thing kind of like throws its head back almost in like instinctive retaliation because it knows something is back there that shouldn't be. Okay, so it will flip over to here. So here's what it's going to do. It is going to... Let's see, yes. Alright, it is going to spin around with its like jaws and try to snap back at you as retaliation.
Evasion is 9.
And it will miss.
Ooh.
Oh.
So basically, yeah, it flies around and like snaps down its teeth, but you're just so much more agile than this thing. You just kind of like Ricky Tikki Tarvey yourself out the way, further up onto its back to where it can't get hold of you.
Ricky Tikki Tarvey?
Harvey?
That was Tabby.
It's his accent.
the
Don't
accent,
make
yeah,
fun of
yeah,
him.
right.
Ricky Tikki
Yeah.
Tarvey.
No,
He does so much for you.
we love his accent. We love the accent.
It's just always so unexpected.
Yeah,
It is.
that's how I always, whenever we was a kids, that's how it was always pronounced when it was read to me, okay?
Ricky Tikki Tarvey.
Turvy.
Like Tavi, not Tavi. Love it.
I love it.
I love that.
It's so cute.
Okay. And it missed its mark. So yeah. And then I think the remainder of our peons
guns.
are going to make 2 more attacks. So we've got this group here. I think they're kind of with Harangue all up in their business. They are going to attempt to attack you, sir.
That makes
Mr.
sense.
Harangue.
He deserves
What is
it.
your evasion?
13 still.
They missed.
Nice.
So again, they're all diving down at you and poking at you and slashing at you. But you're able to kind of easily fend off their attacks as they come in. This last little group, noticing that they don't seem to be remotely bothered by this thing. Like, it hasn't flustered them in the least.
Well, they're friends.
But the group that is down to only a third will attempt to attack our mushroomy friend once more, and they will also miss their mark. So yeah, that's we have one more action. No, we're gonna save it. Okay. So yeah, the alligator spun around, tried to snap at the giant otter on its back. The pixies dive bombed, but to no avail. What do you guys want to do as they're swarming all around you?
Does the alligator look distracted by the thing on its back?
To some degree.
And it's still vulnerable, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it is considered
Does
vulnerable.
what again? I'm sorry. I forgot.
Your attacks are at advantage against it.
Okay.
I'd quite like to sneak up there and do something nasty to it.
Do it.
Okay. If Snug says I can, I will.
Nasty.
But I'm also like I'm in a swarm
Nasty
being
boy.
swarmed though. I don't they would get attacks of opportunity, wouldn't they?
Well, no, that's not really how it works. Basically, what happens is you have to make an agility check to cross that distance unhindered.
Okay.
So
that adds an extra action to the game, though.
It does, but but you're only moving 12 feet, so yeah, you'd only need like a 10.
And I've got a pretty good agility, so I guess I'll go for it.
Now you can make that move as part of, because that would be considered part of your attack, right?
Yeah,
So
I'm looking at
basically-
like jumping off this edge here and
Yeah,
diving
you're like
into the fight.
flying over there and attacking it. So you make the agility roll to do, to get to that, and then you can attack at the end of that. So it's all kind of all intertwined into that action.
Is Z willing to throw me?
Hey, that's what that's what the tag team's for. If you wanna instigate a tag team.
I mean, Harangue's still flinging a sword around at this point, but Z, robot friend.
Yes, monkey humanoid.
Oh my god, okay, please! I want to get over there!
Calculating. Yeah.
Trajectory.
Jesus, just hurry up!
Calculating.
My god!
Give him a minute. He's making sure. Trust me, you don't want him to miscalculate. Believe me.
Right into it.
Trajectory.
Remember!
Lock.
Yes, I remember. Trust me, you do not want him to miscalculate.
So basically, Harangue, you're the one that is. So you spend a hope.
Okay.
And then when you make your attack roll, Z will also attack, and if you both technically hit, you will combine all the damages.
Awesome.
Okay.
I'm getting launched again. I love this.
Commencing trajectory.
Okay. All right. So, yep, you fly through the air. If you're being thrown, I don't think you need to make that agility roll because it's basically part of the attack itself, right? So,
Okay.
just gonna make your. So you're gonna make your attack, and then
Okay.
Z will make his
and it's
attack.
with the advantage because he's glowing.
Correct.
So
Would that be an
2d12,
advantage for me as well?
1d12.
Yes.
And then I have a plus
Everything
3 to hit.
that goes, anything done against this thing is at advantage.
Excellent.
Excellent. Yes.
Okay.
You gonna roll first?
Yep.
I think this is everything. Oh Jesus.
So
Oh, I'll take the 9.
that's a 9.
Over
So
7.
that is a
So that's
hit.
with hope.
Nice.
So you hit. And now Z also rolls to see if it's a success.
Okay.
And this is more aimed at accurate throwing and velocity. It all comes part of it.
So would it be my agility then?
No, I mean, you can still make an attack as normal. You make it like an attack roll because...
Okay.
But I mean, for you, I think it is agility anyway.
Oh, well then I would have added a plus. One more plus to that.
Yeah, okay, so, yeah, and that's a hit.
Nice.
And this is an add-on roll, so your fear is not relevant to this.
Great.
So, it's only Satch's roll that actually we count that on. So,
Okay.
This is gonna be some pretty good damage.
so that's, you both hit, so you gain a hope, Satch.
Mhm.
And now you will roll your damage.
It's 1d8 plus 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 4.
Okay.
Interesting. And then yep. Go for it. Go for it.
Alright, so
Cool.
you're going to hit for 10. Now Z will do Z's damage and add it to that.
Okay. Not the best.
Do you still have your D4?
D6.
And you
D6.
well,
Oh,
you
D6,
still
sorry.
Oh, no, I
Z
already
you'd
used
include
that.
your
Oh, you
pluses.
did, okay.
Yeah.
You'd include your pluses.
But you do still have
For
+2 on that,
what?
so it's 4.
So it's 4. So it's
Nice.
a 14 to hit, or damage.
Okay.
Nice.
And that is a major wound.
Ooh.
Which can I use my Slayer die? Actually,
You can. You can
I'll
add that
put
to
that
it.
on there. See if that makes it a little bit better.
Okay. Still a major wound.
Ah,
But,
okay. I still have that other one too.
You do. But yeah, I mean, this thing's definitely
I want to
Taking
get that
some-
severe shot.
taking some
Yeah,
blows
think-
here. Okay.
Can I use my bard one too?
Yes,
That's a 6, right?
if you want to.
I want to push it over.
Yeah, possibly.
Just enough.
Hey!
All right. So
Spiral
yeah,
Death Monkey has to do severe.
Spiral Death Monkey just managed to do severe damage. Alrighty. Cool. Okay. Yeah. It's looking pretty beat up. And you guys are still in control. You still
Okay.
have a swarm and a third. Well, half a swarm and a third of a swarm of pixies, and then there's this big
I'm
ass
gonna
thing.
act on this momentum.
Okay.
And I will attack with advantage. And if I hit, I do an additional D8 because an ally just.
Oh yeah,
attacked
because an
right
ally just did
before me.
damage.
Yes.
So
Pack hunting.
Pack hunting. There you go.
Nice.
Alrighty.
let's try. Roll. A D6, please.
You will want it. Yep. Roll that d6.
It's with hope
Oh,
still.
I messed that up, I think.
Yep.
Sorry,
And you
no.
gained a hope. 'Cause it was with hope.
Roll 1d6.
And that makes it a hit.
Nice.
You would have missed, but that's a hit. All right.
Okay. So 2d8 plus.
Yeah.
I always forget what
Plus
to add to
2
this.
because it's strength for your
Strength,
height for your animal attack.
Built in there.
10.
Ooh.
Total of 10. Okay. And that's the most you can get on that.
Yep.
All right. It is a wound.
Ah,
Not quite enough to push it up, but it's still a solid blow, and you guys still are in control.
I will cast a string of insults at the big thing. Using my spell, basically Arcane Barrage.
Okay.
I can spend hope to deal D6. I'm
Let's
gonna
hear
spend
every insult.
So this is where all these like
3 of those.
these like magical words
Flaccid.
float through the
magical
air,
words,
Slime.
like
float
mullets,
through
and
the
go.
air. And I would be like, "You're ugly. You don't just belong on land. You're gonna go to your watery grave." And I'm gonna
Ooh,
give
watery
a little
home.
wink. A watery home.
Back to your watery
And
home.
those
Your
words
watery
will
home.
fly through the air for 3d6 of damage, and that's the action.
Death awaits the disgusting.
Okay.
Death awaits the disgusting. Yes. And for 13, there we go.
Ooh.
Alrighty. That is, and that you don't have to roll to hit with that one, right?
Nope, it's just straight.
Yep.
Damn, bards are powerful.
Wow.
What the hell?
Oh, it's arcane missiles.
Yeah, but but it costs you a hope, though, right?
It's all 3.
That's-
I spent 3 of my 4 hope. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why he burned
That's
like
why.
a shit ton of hope.
That's why I prepped with you guys.
But, so how does it die?
Ooh.
Wow.
You're right. I'm sorry.
The shame!
words.
Have you seen the
Splits.
room? It
Yeah.
does the room to itself.
The word splits, and does it have ears?
It has like holes where its ears would be.
It goes in
Ear
those
slits.
holes. Ear
Ear
slits.
slits
Yeah,
and
the
holes.
word splits and magically go into the brain, and there's just a little pop, like within the cranium. There's a
Okay.
basically
So
a
yeah,
hemorrhage
you
of the
guys
brain.
will kind of see like just blood suddenly like pour out of its ear holes, out of its nostrils,
Yep.
out of
Oh,
its
wow.
mouth, and then it like just
Exploded.
goes limp. And with the majority of it still being in the water, it just kind of like slopes and flops and slides down the bank, disappearing into the water below, leaving a little glowing kind of like slowly a small little gap in the glowing blue illuminates as a pool of dark red emerges on the top of the water.
You ever feel like maybe we're the bad guys?
All the time.
No.
With that,
No.
with that, the pixies are going to be. Oh no! They've killed the protector! Flee! Everybody flee! They are going to try to run away. If anybody wishes to attack them, you can. When I say run, I mean
I
fly.
wouldn't. Yeah. Gerbert wouldn't.
Okay.
He didn't want to attack in the first place.
Yeah, I'll drink
Should
my
I
health
dispose
potion
of them?
instead.
No, Gerbert, stand down. Stand down.
Threat level lowered.
Right.
Thank you.
Then in that case, they will all fly over to here. Oh, who's doing what?
I'm drinking my health potion.
Oh, okay. So you heal too. All right. Yeah, they kind of fly over here, and then they all like disappear into this big plant here. And hide. Breathing a sigh of relief as the alligator is destroyed and the pixies, which you kind of pissed off, disappeared. What do you guys want to do now?
Well, we got to get the spring water, right?
Yeah.
Is that our whole point?
Yeah, I'm just
Okay.
gonna turn. I'm just gonna turn to everyone and be like, "I'm sorry that went so awry.
Yeah, I thought you knew what you were doing.
I thought I did too. I thought it was the plant-based thing, not a flying pixie thing.
Okay,
My
so
bad.
you didn't you didn't read that somewhere in a book where you knew that was what was going on, or?
No, I don't know. I'm gonna hold up my romance novel, which is well worn because apparently I have one.
Oh, that's
I
what you-
read. I read
that-
erotic literature.
That's what you read? You read trash novels? Oh, you're a trash novel. I see.
I mean, have
Okay.
you ever read Dan Brown? He's fantastic.
I see.
Angels
Okay.
and demons.
Well, sure. I mean, we only go around on this big blue orb once, and I would rather spend my time reading things that heighten my. Oh, no, it's fine. It's fine. Just
No,
maybe lesson learned, I guess.
Maybe we'll swap in the future. You'll read my trash literature, I'll read your educational books.
Sure. Yes. Of course. That's what friends do.
Yes. We'll
Did you see
share.
that though? Man, Captain Tashare would have given me a promotion.
Okay.
Thanks, Sats.
So how do you plan on going about finding where the spring is and filling your
I
flask?
read erotic
I'm gonna stay in otter form.
Okay.
Since I can swim and be on land, I can You just see a little otter come up, and I do a little like salute with my tiny little claws. And then
hi.
I'm going to go scout since I'm
Okay.
if I can to see where.
Yeah.
Where
So
could be.
in that case, if that's what you're gonna do, I'm gonna get you to make a roll for me,
Okay.
and you are gonna make an instinct roll with any pluses that you may have.
Add a +2 to this.
Well, actually, you can do it on. Well, let's see.
How did you roll 0?
Wait, how does it say 0? I don't know.
Don't
It's
know.
weird.
Double
I should
zero
probably
is the
roll
crit,
again.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it shouldn't have
that's
rolled
cool.
a
I
0.
didn't know you can click on the thing and it tells you what the numbers were.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's cool. That's useful to know.
I had a crit there. Jane had a crit there on the 2 12s. That's interesting.
Do click it.
missed.
Oh.
Oh, I
I had
didn't
a
know
crit.
that. Would have been nice to know.
Well, we're learning.
Hey, I didn't know that you could click on those to see the numbers either, so that's kind of cool.
I was like, this is so dumb. What if I don't see it on the tray?
Yep.
Well,
But it's right there.
I don't
it
know,
works.
but now I do.
So
but
yeah,
now we
you want to
do.
roll again, Jane, so you don't roll a 0?
Yeah, sure. Add a +2 to this.
Okay, there we go. Alrighty.
Okay.
Yeah, no problem. So yeah, you start like scampering along all of the different
0 again. What the hell?
levels and
Yeah,
stuff.
I don't know.
That is weird.
Yeah, we're having some kind of.
Because it listed the.
Thanks,
I mean, I
DD
saw the
dice.
dice, but I don't know.
Maybe refresh the.
Might only be.
Maybe, but I mean, as long as you see the numbers, I guess it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, we saw the
Yeah.
roll.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, when you kind of get all the way up to the top here, you can kind of see little circles of water like flowing out, like to indicate that obviously there is some water is like coming up like a spout and like hitting the surface, and that's what's kind of creating these circular ripples as they all pulse out towards the banks. That would look like, out of all the other places, this is the only one that you've seen that actually has that.
If I
It's also the
dive
highest,
under-
most
Yeah.
fall as well.
If I dive underwater and look at those circles, do I see anything?
Yes, at the base of the pool itself is about 8 foot deep. But at the bottom of it, you can actually see like a couple of tiny cracks and crevices in the ground. And you can kind of see bubbles and stream of water as it's kind of like coming up out of the ground itself and rising up through the 8 feet of water and then popping up at the top.
Well, if that's the case, instead of having everyone come up here, I would turn back into my regular form and collect the vials.
Okay. You fill up the 3 silver flasks with the water.
And just head back down to everyone slowly.
Decrepitly work your way back. Alright, yeah, probably. So after about 15-20 minutes, you'll see Ashara come slowly wandering with these 3 flasks. And the water in theory is inside.
I believe I picked the correct spring. It's quite interesting. I've never seen anything quite like it.
That's fantastic. Let's get out of here. Good job.
Oh, incidentally, as soon as you were in the water, it also tasted different than the rest of the water as well. It had a kind of a almost minty flavor.
Ooh, can I retcon and say I would have taken a nice gulp?
Okay.
A nice goal.
Nice gulp of minty fresh water.
To see if anything would happen to me.
Okay. No, it was very refreshing, but it doesn't do anything
Okay.
like wounds don't magically heal or anything like that.
Okay.
You haven't found like the, this is not like the Fountain of Youth or anything.
Damn.
But I mean,
Dang.
it's entirely possible that there can be some properties of this water that could maybe be used to affect this cure that this apothecary says you can do. So,
Right.
alrighty. The boat.
Yes, the boat.
Which you're able to kind of work your way back down to. As I said, it's kind of wedged in that bend. So once you kind of get back down to it and examine it, as I said, it is in a pretty bad state of affairs, but not to the point where it couldn't be kind of made to float still. Either by... I mean, at this point, it's probably more a case of like, kind of like tying some beams across it and like turning it into like a catamaran or something like that, so it floats in the water better, because it's not really that repairable to make it regular boat again. But if you want to, if anybody in particular wants to try to gerrymander or jerry-rig this thing, let me know. Who would take charge of that?
I'm guessing me and Harang.
Yeah, we'd probably try.
Yeah.
So you want to do the same as last time and have one person help the other?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, the difficulty is a little harder this time. It's going to be more like a 14. So, whoever wants to try it, you will do so, and then the other person spend a hope, and you will roll your hope dice, and then whoever makes the roll can choose your dice instead of theirs if they would like.
You rolled last time. I'll do this one, I guess.
Okay. All right. So you go ahead and roll as normal.
Got a +1 finesse. And that's all we got. That's all she wrote.
Oh, you did it. You did it anyway.
Nice.
So either way, you didn't even need the help.
Heck
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. So you managed to get this thing repaired enough to float back down river.
It's all this confidence after killing that thing.
Right, there you go. It's a little slower going because the thing is not so buoyant anymore, so you can't really go as fast. However, that's helped by the fact that you're now flowing downriver as opposed to fighting upriver. And it'll be about nightfall by the time you make it to where the 3 huts were, where that little river run place was, the outpost.
Perfect place to sleep.
You guys can rest there the night if you wish, or you can take a brief break and then try to push on to get this cure back. It's up to you. Your decision.
Do we know if we're late at this point?
No. Technically, you shouldn't be late because if you remember, he had a day's travel to find somebody to help. Because he was going to this nearby town. So you saved them that day. You spent the night, so that burned about half of it. And you've had a couple of short rests, so you're still about half a day ahead.
Say we take the rest.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Plus, then we can do the long rest mechanics real quick. And we'll be close to wrapping up here. But, alright, so for a long rest, works a little differently, you still get to choose 2, except basically you can cure all wounds, clear all stress, repair all armor. You can still do the prep action if you want, or if there was a project that one of your characters was wanted to work on, like a creation, like if one of you wanted to create a potion or a certain type of equipment or whatever, it would be assigned a number of uses or a number of sessions that it would take to complete, and then you can actually use that long rest to burn one of those and get closer to having it complete. So basically, for the that last one probably doesn't really come into play. So 10 dull wounds, clear all stress, repair all armor, and prep if you don't want to do any of those things.
Okay.
But you don't have to roll, they're all done with a long rest.
feel refreshed.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna get my health point back. I only have one lost, and prep for some hope.
There we go. Okay. So yeah, basically you can spend the next day traveling back to find Lord Haversham, where as soon as you arrive back in town, you already know Lord Haversham is the house that lived, the big house that was surrounded by apple orchards. So you can make your way up to his place. Upon arrival, he will be ecstatically delighted to see you. And there is a kind of a elderly looking what are they called? Qatari, which is like the feline looking people. Kind of hunched over a little bit, has a large satchel with, you can see kind of like strange leaves poking out of it and stuff like that, and a belt pouch that like a belt that has like small pouches with little vials and stuff all wrapped around. He says, "Well, did you succeed? Did you find the cure? The water? Did you get it?"
Of course we did. That's why we've returned.
This look like success to you?
Oh, wonderful, wonderful! Quickly, give it to me. Give it to me.
Threatening way.
I take out the 3 vials and hand them over.
The apothecary kind of
Ta-da.
like slides in between Lord Haversham and you guys and says, "I'll take this,"
Oh, okay.
and kind of reaches out her hand, and he's like, "Oh, yes, of course." Okay, she'll take them from you, and then she says, "I will need to spend a little bit of time preparing this, but by the morning it should be ready." And then, just kind of like walks off down the side hallway. "Oh, yes, sir. To the guest room, of course. Oh, well, I can't thank you enough. My daughter Emma will be saved because of this. She was very dear to me, and I do believe additional payments were promised, as well as expenses. So, and basically he gives each of you, a couple of handfuls of gold, and then says, and expenses. Did you incur any expenses at all?"
I mean, not really. Just our time. Oh, I'm gonna look at our ring.
Obviously, I've
Well, there's that town that's like dead now.
a dead town.
Yes.
Was that really an
that's true.
expense?
Well,
I'm
I mean, it
thinking
was
more,
expensive to them. It cost them everything.
Our boat's pretty beat up.
Your boat? Oh, what would it cost to repair that, do you think?
Well, it was a huge barge with masts and sails.
It was?
Really? Oh, no wonder they hired you. Sounds very
It what?
expensive. How much damage was done?
No, was it?
Most of it.
I'm just gonna kind of like push Gerbert and be like, it took some damage from the alligators. There were 2.
Oh, that's true.
Hooligans,
That's
oh
true.
yes. I've heard rumors of such vicious creatures. Yes, not very aquatic, I'm afraid. I don't really know how much these things cost. What would you say it would take to repair those? Couple of bags of gold? I don't know.
2 bags should cover it, yeah.
Fine. Well, I suppose for my daughter, of course. Yes. Well, if you'll just give me a moment. And he kind of wanders off, closes the door behind him, and after about 5 or 10 minutes, he'll come out, pop them on the table. There, 2 bags of gold.
Excellent. We
Yeah,
can use
wonderful.
this to fund further exploits. Whatever you need, If anything ever comes up, just let us know, and I'm gonna start walking off with it.
Okay. He says, of course. Rest up and stay at the tavern tonight, and whatever it costs you to rest over there at old Solomon's place, I'll pick up the tab from him. Just tell him to put it on Lord Haversham's tab.
Oh, Very generous.
Will
Thank you.
do.
Okay.
As you walk out, I say, I had quite the adventure with you folk. I wonder if you'd be interested in perhaps a few more.
Like friends?
Like friends.
Well, I mean, how does that sound to you, V?
That sounds acceptable.
Okay, well, if Steve said that, I'm in.
I mean, I'm walking away with the 2 bags in the group. I'm just gonna be like,
Yeah, we could probably afford an actual boat with this.
How about you, Rick? A Rick roll.
We're
Say it right.
Well pronounced, and I'm in. Let's
Say it right.
let's go on.
Let's go to the tavern and come up with our name.
Alrighty. Yeah, so you go back to the inn. Solomon Darman kind of wave at you as you walk in. The young scout that hired you is there, and he'll wave and greet you and be eagerly ready to listen to your tales, as he'll kind of like pop himself down and want to hear all about it. And everybody will be kind of like congratulating you and saying what a great deed it is that you've done, and that Emma is beloved, and she's like, such a lovely girl, and it would be bad if anything happened to her. Running around this mushroom, running around over the screen. So you guys are having bottles of Sable Thirst wine and chugging back some blackberry and apple ale. Plowing down on some stews and maybe some fresh roasted rabbits or whatever. About 4 hours later, right as you're about to kind of turn in, the door bursts open, and Lord Havisham says, "He's gone! He just left in the middle of the night! He left! He hasn't cured her! He took the flask and ran away!" And that's a great place for us to stop.
Sounds like a job for
Daggerheart!
So maybe that gives us an opportunity to continue in the future with that little side story. Or maybe we won't. But there we go. Alrighty. Fun.
We did it.
how do we build these into 3.5 now? No, okay.
ready to
That's
go
it.
with these characters.
So there we go.
It's a fun group.
Yeah.
Yep, it's some of the races are fun. So there we go. We still have the Thursday group that we're finishing off the playtest on that. I would encourage everybody that played to go to the Daggerheart website and fill out the play survey and give them your feedback. You had 3 sessions of it, so pros and cons. I've, after running it now for 4 sessions? Yeah.
4 sessions, yeah.
4 total, yeah.
There are definitely things I like. There's definitely things I can see that they need to work on and improve. Overall, my initial assessment is it has some promise.
Yeah.
As I said, I think it's still very early days. They're at least a year away from completing and publication at this point. And this is only very, very early beta. As I said, it has only gone through 1 playtest and is already getting some adjustments. I feel like we've already discussed and uncovered a few things that we know are a little weird, like the armor is a bit imbalanced. That needs adjusting.
Is this going on YouTube? Should I get...
It is.
It is?
The first 2 episodes are already ready to be listed on YouTube. I just need
He was like
to
gonna
do
get
this
all 3
one, and then
put them
we'll
all
put
up
all
together.
3.
Yep.
Oh,
Also,
nice.
give it a name because we have 2 running campaigns. Gore, you already told me those. I just have to
Yeah.
find it.
Yeah, this one was Moonglow Springs, and then the other one is the one with thistles.
Moonglow Spring.
Yep.
That sounds like a Christian camp I went to.
It does, doesn't it? So
You're
just
back,
if you're
baby.
interested, this
We're
region,
back. We are so fucking back.
I want to do it.
this region, the Sable Woods and all
Great
that, this is all
one-shot idea.
stuff from the Daggerheart world. This is not. While the adventures are homebrew adventures, I use their source material and their world and their, the Moonglow Springs and all that sort of stuff, and the Sable Wood and all that. That's all part of their. I don't know whether it's going to be their canon world or if it's just their kind of beta testing world or whatever. But that's all part of that. So I didn't want to run the the playtest adventure that they gave for two reasons. One, because I figured other people are going to do that. And two, seeing as I was running it twice, I didn't really feel like running the same adventure 2 times was a smart thing to do. So, but anyways, I know that some of these guys have got to get out of here. So we're going to go ahead and let them bug out. But yeah, if you've got any thoughts, hit us up on Discord. Let us know what you liked, what you didn't like. If you, after watching it and feel like you observed enough, want to go and fill out the playtest surveys as well, do so on Daggerheart. Just Google Daggerheart and go and do that. Try to give constructive, honest, decent feedback, because what we want is for them to take this and continue to improve it in a good way. No point just going on there and saying the armor was crap or it's imbalanced. Like, we gotta, you gotta give some serious, sensible feedback, and take a little bit of time to fill it out if you're gonna do it. So, but other than that, much fun. Appreciate it, guys. Thanks for everyone that hung out with us. We had a blast. Hope you did too.
Yep.
Thank you for our cheerers, and thank you for our follows and our resubs. We will see y'all again real soon. Much love to y'all. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.